Hey everyone, Teamudf here for Tales Commentary Part 4. It probably wasn't the full name, but I don't remember. It's been like a year. So, this is the series where I do commentary over my old Tales from Cyrodiil series, and we are in Era 4, episodes 12 through 16, which I guess I still consider this technically the best era, at least as far as like plot progression and I don't know, actually figuring out things in the editing software and stuff. There are probably other eras that you like better, but that's okay. I'm just, I'm giving you my thing. We're going to go like pretty high here on the volume. Twitch chat is going to help me out determining whether this thing is too loud or too quiet. So here we go with episode 12, Market Day. And then I guess once we get through with these, I'll give you my plans at the very end because I'm a persnickety little piece of crap as to how we're going to proceed with the rest of the series. All right, episode 12, Market Day. Let's see what we got here.
They're the nefarious love.
And they die. The series is over. So, of course, 12 is a multiple of 4. So, I had to get the thing in there. It's technically not the full song, but, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have time for this. You two have to kill Zalos Phoenix once and for all.
80 maybe?
I thought you two had a temporary truce.
85, huh?
Yes, but it's been about 30 minutes and I feel like killing him again.
Yeah, right. So they were supposed to have the next time we meet we're enemies deal from episode 11. So I guess it's been 30 minutes since then. I don't know. Huh. I guess they got all the way back to the Imperial City and enjoyed themselves for a bit, and then, alright.
Alright, what's the plan, Mr. High Chancellor? Me? I'm going to have the Imperial City host a fake Market Day. Ooh, I love Market Day, especially the ice cream.
Alright, I feel the need to explain the Market Day thing. So, this doesn't really have any fantastic backstory, but I remember Market Day from when I was like a 90s kid going to elementary school, and Market Day was just kind of a thing we did. But somehow in there, when I was planning out ideas for the episodes, I just decided, yeah, sure, Market Day will be a freaking episode. Like, most anime these days have some kind of trope episodes like the beach episode, right? No, we've got freaking Market Day in Tales from Cyrodiil, I guess. I guess that's the trope that I...
Shut up, Benji. Anyway, Zelos and his idiot friends will be lured here thanks to the great prices. And that's when you two will ambush them and finish them once and for all.
Foolproof.
Okay. But aren't you like the High Chancellor? Yes, you idiot. That's what we established when I hired you. In fact, let me take you back to episode 4 where it all happened.
Oh, right, this. You were actually supposed to get flashbacks here, but I couldn't get them in because Camtasia did not play well with MP4s. It could output MP4s, but if you put MP4s into Camtasia, it would, like, break the whole thing. This has a very unfortunate side effect later on in the evening.
No, screw you, Camtasia.
Oh, there, okay.
Well, I mean, if you're the High Chancellor, why don't you just order his arrest, bring him to the palace, and kill him behind closed doors?
I forgot I did that.
What are you suggesting? That you, arrest him, bring him to the palace, and, kill him behind closed doors?
You see, Kajido doesn't do anything like a good villain would, and even Sean is starting to figure this out. That's when you know you screwed up.
Do you take Kazido Nolan for some kind of coward? Well, I can certainly think of a couple occasions.
So this one's actually on purpose. I just decided to roll with the Camtasia thing, where I'm like, okay, Kajido's just going to try to hide all the instances where he was bad. Oh god, how loud is the intro?
Yeah, I knew I could trust you, Camtasia. A+ work. But you, Tyron, I'm giving you a 0 for the day.
This is actually a shoehorned American Dad joke. I loved the American Dad joke where Stan is like grading his family or whatever, and he gives Haley a 0 because she's a brat to him, and so I decided to fit this into a Tales episode. I don't know, there's some random trivia for you, I guess. Alright, how loud? Alright, I guess this is fine. Oh god, the distortion! It's all going wrong! Okay. There we go. hasty intro. Alright.
So, like, what exactly is a market day going to do for us? Market day, the most evil of henchmen. Nobody can resist the allure of market day. You would have to be a complete moron to even... Oh, yes!
Oh.
I love market day! This is a complete waste of time. I could be using today to work towards immortality and greatness. What? Zelus isn't with them?
Okay, this joke is a little bit weird. I don't know if anybody actually understood this back when I first posted it. The joke is supposed to be that Kajido is viewing some kind of, like, cheating monitor, and he's able to see where they are. But Benji, being an idiot, can't cheat, and so he doesn't see what Kajido's looking at. I have no idea how this came off to the audience back in the day.
Alright. Finally, some time to relax.
Oh, no you don't. You're coming with us.
You guys better not break anything.
I mean, I guess he just warps? I don't know. I had no logic here, I guess. I guess that was supposed to be the joke. I don't freaking know.
Oh, come on, Jello. You act like you can't trust someone like me, Captain Blue!
I wonder if I can actually still do that. Captain Blue! I kind of can still do it, I guess.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Ah, there he is. Fantastic. Where is he? I can't see him. No, over there, you fool. I am looking over there. He's not there. No, you have to... How do I explain this so your brain doesn't explode? Well, what did you expect from Benji? I expected some kind of competency. Oh god, you're right.
A little bit of immersion breaking here. Don't think Kajido would use phrases like "oh god," but well, I didn't catch it until I was done.
Where? I can't see.
Diagonally. Pretty sneaky, sis.
Alright. At some point, I became obsessed with wanting to get a Connect 4 joke in. That's the best explanation I have for you. I just wanted to do a Connect 4 joke. So, you got a Connect 4 joke.
Yeah, we have to teach you to cheat properly someday. The point is they're here. Now we can kill them. Don't you worry, Mr. High Chancellor. That kid's as good as dead. Ooh, and his little dog too? That's right, Hunter. And his little dog too.
Chipmunk thing again, yeah. The dramatic whatever the flid.
Ooh, is there gonna be... I swear, Benji, if you even so much as start. Hang on, I need to buy some things for my alchemy garden.
Okay.
God.
How's it going?
Let's see.
My name's Hunsel. My name's Hunsel. Is this the Arboretum? Oh yeah, this is the the plant store. right. I forgot we changed the name. It's the plant store. Oh great. I'm looking for ginkgo leaves and ginseng. Have any?
So, I love the irony here that the joke is that Hunter doesn't know how to pronounce Arboretum. And then immediately after that, I have Ruined Tail do a line where I don't actually know if I'm pronouncing the alchemy ingredients correctly. That it was not intentional that I did that, but that's how it went down. So there you go. I actually have no idea if I pronounced those correctly or not.
Yeah, we have that stuff. Oh, Hansel, could I speak to you? Sure thing. Excuse me, that's my manager. Look, man, I gave you the helmet. You said you could do this. Here, I got this, man. I got this. I just didn't expect him to ask all these complicated questions. I don't know this stuff. That's how people Okay, look. It's ginseng plant, okay? Just tell him we have it. Sorry about that, guys.
That was all done in one take, by the way. I just argue with myself in one take. You can kind of hear sometimes when I do it because I'll like take a breath or whatever. I won't do it that exaggerated, but you can sometimes listen really carefully and hear me take the breath with the Hunter and Sean conversations because I never gave myself enough time, dude. I was like always rushing for some reason.
We have a shortage of staff today, but yeah, we got the ginseng tree here. Oh, for the love of... Oh, and do you happen to have any mandrake root as well? Human dragon? What kind of sicko are you? Hansel? Whoop, excuse me. You're just killing me out there, man. You're joking. Hey, I'm not joking. I totally have this, man. No, you don't. You know nothing about alchemy. So? You said you did earlier. Hey, man, I don't know why you're so upset about this. We gotta warn Cyrodiil about that human dragon. Okay, look. Just tell them you have what they need and to come back here to get it. Well, alright. But that dragon better not come near our palace. Sorry about that, but yeah, we've got all that stuff. Just come on back here and we'll show you.
Even Speckle?
I feel so uncreative. I'm sitting around during the scene being like, all right, so McGahan's onto them, and he's gonna ask them for some phony ingredient that doesn't exist. And the best I could come up with is Speckle. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that too.
I made that one up.
Ooh,
Speckle.
good one, man, good one. That's his first day. Yeah, my first day. You really got me there, guy.
You know, I guess it occurs to me that when I was doing this series, I didn't really have any way, or I never really figured out how to do distance speaking, like proximity chat kind of thing. So I just have to like do this like phony screaming thing where I kind of dim my voice or whatever, or I make it sound more distant, but I don't actually do anything for it. Because I had noticed when I like, you know, when I turn around or when I step away or something like that, you can kind of get this little reverb echo thing out of the room based on where I'm at. And so it's not a great effect. So I don't know. I never really had a good way to do those, I guess.
You know, that helmet looks really cool.
Oh yeah, I love this helmet.
There's a cut there. I don't remember. I think I'm cutting out like a really weird click of my tongue between my lips or something. I just remember there being a sound within that line that I hated. And so I tried to do this really awkward cut to hide it, but then as a result, the line sounds like it's screwed up.
Really cool.
Oh yeah, I love this helmet. It's sturdy as a tree.
That's actually not Hunter being bad. That's me not being able to write another good line. I was just sitting here like, what are things that are sturdy? I guess a tree is supposed to be sturdy. Ha ha, ha ha, what a great comparison. Anyway.
Mind if I take a look?
Oh, of course not. Here you go. Hunter, you idiot.
Aha! I knew it.
Yeah, he's got a helmet over his helmet, I guess is the, yeah. Also, there you go. I just can't show him handing off the helmet, so I'll just switch helmets in between scenes. I don't know.
Ooh, crap. I swear, Hunter, sometimes you're stupider than that Benji guy. Whoa, now. Let's not say things we can't take back.
That's a running joke between the old school UDF members and myself. Especially Jay and I would do that joke with each other a lot, where we'd be like, whoa, let's not say things we can't take back, you know? So that's, I don't know, very, very old throwback right there.
You're right. I'm sorry, Hunter. I'm sorry too, Sean. Friends? Best friends, buddy. Best friends.
So, can we fight now?
No, we can't. I probably at one point had a fight scene here, but this was supposed to be the episode where I got back to doing everything as though it was improv, right? So this is actually a guess because I don't remember, but I'm guessing at some point I decided that a fight would, number one, it would be hard to logic out the fight in this area because there's a freaking ogre walking around and there are guards and other people, so I probably just didn't want to deal with it. And I guess the other part of that was that I'm like, all right, well, the fights are the thing that's making this take forever, so let's just keep doing talking scenes. I don't know. God, this is a Kevin McLeod song, I think?
All right. When Zelos comes through, you go tell him that he's won the chance to see a legendary warrior. Then Tyron will ambush him in the Bloodworks and... Not to interrupt, but isn't this the same plan we used when you first hired me? No, you simpleton, it's completely... Oh, crap. Yeah. Hey.
So, funny enough, it's actually really good that I did this. This thing where Kajido is bad and he repeats the same plan, so Zelos catches it. Because, like, incidentally, the plan that is referenced here, you like really can't see that Tails episode anymore because the volume was like cut out of it by YouTube. I had used a couple songs there that they didn't like back in that day, and so they muted it. So you actually can't like hear the original exchange, and that's by just complete happenstance. Fancy words. Let's just keep doing it.
Hey, how's it going? You're totally a big winner today, man.
So like Benji repeats the dialogue.
He knows, Benji. So what's your evil plot this time, Kajido? Burning down orphanages? Stealing stuff from castles?
Number 3.
You know, maybe I don't have anything against orphanages or castles. You ever think about that? No. Oh. Well, in any case, it's time for you to perish. You're a match this time, Zelos. I've got more forces than you could ever imagine.
That's also like kind of Kajido's common retort. You don't get it as much as the burning down orphanages, stealing stuff from castles, but he like usually retorts with, "You're completely outmatched this time," some variation of that. But this time Zelos is ready.
Yeah? Well, I've got actual skill. I've got my nuclear blast. I've got my lightning strike. I've got a Jack Daniels. Bad news, boss. They used some kind of sorcery and figured this out, right, Sean? Yeah, sure. What, you guys too? Do you have the whole gang here or something? All the better to skewer you with, Zelos. Yeah, he didn't really set you up for that one.
Family Guy.
Shut up and put up your dukes. Of Hazard? Well, that was a good show.
I don't know what this was supposed to be, but I guess at some point, because I did not watch Dukes of Hazzard around the time I was developing this episode. I had watched some of Dukes of Hazzard in high school at night, but as an adult, I did not watch Dukes of Hazzard. Dukes of Hazzard was not on in the house at any given point in time while I was playing Oblivion. But I guess at some point, I decided I wanted to use the phrase "put up your dukes" as a lead-in to a Dukes of Hazzard joke, and then I just set up this conversation to go on forever, and just, god dang it.
No. I don't know. I didn't quite get the comedy in that. So they're two buffoons who drive recklessly. Big deal. I could go to any street in New York and find the same thing. Guys? Well, that's completely preposterous. At least you have to give credit to Daisy. You mean that bimbo with no credibility whatsoever? Yeah, I've seen more character development in a Miss America pageant. Pay attention, you idiots! Thank you. Finally, someone who agrees. Not like Captain Idiot over here who just ogles whatever moves. Oh yeah, coming from someone whose taste in women is transforming fiends or whatever you were spouting up over there for 15 episodes.
I guess what this establishes is that not only is Tears of the Fiend canon to the Tales universe, but the actual length of the Tears of the Fiend LP is like canon. You're counting episodes. You could just say it's a fourth wall joke, but I don't know. I guess if I was like doing like a review or a critique of something, I guess the scene is trying to establish that there's canon between the LPs and the series, which I guess, to be fair, that's how the series started. But I don't know. That's I guess what you get.
That was one time, and I was.
Hey, or
Oh, he's supposed to admit that he was drunk, but I cut him off basically.
Solos go. What happened?
Oh, we fought already. Yep, we got it out of our systems.
The actual joke here is that it took 30 minutes last time for Kajido to want to kill Zelos, but this time it only takes 15. You see, he's a very impatient man.
Yeah, we must kill Zelos. Alright, Kajido, you're not getting away this time. Yeah, bring it on, Zelos. I'm going to finish you off once and for all. Will Kajido finally defeat Zelos? Was Dukes of Hazzard actually a good show? Was there even a point to Market Day? Find out in 5 years on Tales from Cyrodiil, or whatever. At least it's not Tim and Eric.
Connect 4. There, that's your stupid payoff to the Connect 4 joke. Man, I remember people were kind of upset when I ended the episode like that because they thought Kajido and Zealous were actually going to fight it out. Like, I guess we'd only gotten really the skirmish in episode 2, right? Because, they didn't really fight in 10, 11, or they didn't fight in 10 or 11. They didn't fight in 9. They didn't fight, when else were they even hanging out? That's like it. They were in the same place in 9, 10, and 11, and at no point did they actually fight each other in those episodes. And then I kind of jip you out here with the fake fight, and then I do the to be continued on you, right? So I don't know. But no, I was like, all right, this is a decent place to stop the episode. We got through the topic. There wasn't even any reason for the Market Day scheme to be there. You notice they talk about Market Day for like 20% of the episode, and then it's not even used. Like, I guess it's kind of used, right? Like the side characters use it, but nobody in the main cast actually gives a crap. And then Kazuyo just comes up with a different plan anyways. I don't know. Oh no, spoken.
Destiny throws itself together, my apprentice. Slowly but surely the gears land in place and turn ever so gracefully. However, it remains true that this flow of elegance is sometimes interrupted for efficiency.
So the way that I had to do that was, I'm Vath in this scene, and I had to position Ango in such a way that when he walked forward, he had like a perfect angle coming forward so that he wouldn't eventually hit a wall, right? This took a while to set up, but then I had to just take my Vath character. Wait, I'm not Vath here. This is the NPC. I'm bad, everybody. Don't mind me. Just whatever. Okay, I'm not Vath here. I can see the freaking face. I'm not Vath. Anyway, so I positioned Vath, and then I had to position Engo, and then I had to get him to walk forward all the way through that with the actors in charge or whatever it was, probably. But yeah, that took a while to set up. That was kind of annoying. And then I had to get all my lines in while he was walking forward, because if I didn't, he would just walk right into Vath and it would look super stupid. So I guess this is a case where I was able to do that in one take, but I risked having to do all of it again because of how the mod worked. I can't just stop him dead at a certain location. He'll just keep walking forward forever. So I have to get him to walk forward just enough so that it lines up with the dialogue and everything. And then I cut the scene out, and then I stop him and reposition him, and then I do this scene here, basically.
Deliver the invitations. It is time to announce our presence with authority.
Is this the first time I did plot, like, in the post? It has to be, right? There's the Silent Hill mod portal thing. God, this was such a good mod. So yeah, this is the same portal that you see in the final intro of Tales. So a big portal that opens up. I'm still so happy I got to see that portal open on a recording, because otherwise I couldn't get it to trigger again. There's nothing that, like, undoes the portal opening. I would have to, like, reset the mod, basically. I guess I could uninstall it and reinstall it. I think that would reset my quest progress on it, but I might still have to, like, do some shenanigans in the console and everything. So basically just this portal was just up forever. And then here's a whole 3 seconds of sound. Wow, now we are officially done with the episode. Okay, yeah. So that was episode 12, Market Day. I was very happy to get back to the improv jokes. I think a couple of them fell flat. I still look back at the Dukes of Hazzard thing, and I'm like, why did I do this? But it is one of my favorite episodes, especially in this segment here. I don't think there's a single episode I hate in this 12 through 16, but it was a necessary episode to start with on the way back. Unfortunately, I do think I was still slow here. Let's see what we got. We got April 1st, 2013. So this was an April Fool's episode. And then August 1st, 2013. Okay, so the difference between 12 and 13 is actually not, like, horrendous compared to the rest of the times that I like, did this, right? Usually it would be, like, 1 episode a year. 2013, you got 2 episodes. I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't assume you got a third, but let's see. It looks like you got 2 episodes in 2012 as well, and then I think I just took 55 years. Oh no, I was still like actually doing it in 2011 though. See, like the problem with my assumption is I would have to go back further than the channel goes, so you know, at some point it had to make sense. But yeah. All right, well, let us head to episode 13, The Darkness Approaches.
It's come to our attention some people believe Tales from Cyrodiil is going to be cancelled.
All right, now, in like any other case, this would be a, well, screw me silly moment. This would be like the ultimate, well, screw me silly. But I guess at this point, I kind of realized there was a chance that this would backfire. It was like the episodes were coming out so late. I kept running into problems whenever I tried to set them up. I didn't really have too many clues where I wanted to go with some of the more long-winded plots. I don't know. I wasn't committing to the whole I need to calm down and do things in a more improv way. I kept setting up these big fancy freaking scenes. And so it's like the commit to the improv lasts all of 1 episode, and then 13 I plan everything out again. We don't get back to the improv until 14, and then 15 is kind of improv, and then 16 goes right back to all the fancy stuff. But then 16, you can kind of tell I'm like, there are certain things I'm getting a little lazy with, but you know, so here we go.
It's come to our attention some people believe Tales from Cyrodiil is going to be cancelled.
Is that a click you can hear in the background? Did I click something?
It's come to our attention some people believe
Yeah.
Tales from Cyrodiil is going to be cancelled.
Okay.
Well, we've brought these people on the show today for an exclusive interview. Kajido will be answering the questions. Don't mind if I do. Okay then, question 1. Oh, well, that's all the time we have today. On with the show.
And then we got this right after. Boy, did I have bad luck in this episode. Not only the Omen, but then we got this. So you may remember in literally the previous episode, I alluded to the fact that Camtasia does not play well with MP4s. Well, guess what? The intro is an MP4. So, what ended up happening was, I guess what I would have had to have done to pull this off is I would have realized that since Camtasia doesn't play well with the MP4, I would leave out the intro until the very end so that Camtasia didn't constantly break on me when it would try to update all the data with the MP4. So I'm like, well, this is simple. Then we just leave out the MP4, we'll insert it later. So I left it out and I put this this very screen here, not with this joke on it, but it would just say like intro in yellow lettering or something. But when I came back to insert the intro, I couldn't get all the other clips to move forward accordingly with the intro, especially if they were on a different audio channel or a different video channel. So in order to insert and I have no idea why this was, because I had done it several times before, I'm pretty sure, where I would bop out this clip and I would throw the intro in and everything would be fine. But for some reason, everything shifted in, but it wouldn't shift back out. So everything got thrown off by like the length of the 19 to 20 second intro. And so I was like, dude, what the flid? I was like so upset because this was like, I was like gonna have to redo the whole episode. Now, if I thought about it a little more deeply, what I probably could have done was publish the episode with the blank screen and then throw the entire episode into Camtasia, insert the intro there and like break up the episode into 2 segments and hope that Camtasia would render with 2 MP4s sent into it. But I never ended up, as far as I remember, I never ended up trying that. So I just kind of folded and I was like, well, I don't have any clever thing to place here, so I'm just going to insert the audio track and then put this dumb explanation on the screen. And you can see that I was kind of done with this because I'm writing in all caps here by the time I get to the bottom. I don't know why I'm shaking the mouse on the screen. You can't see the mouse, but yeah. Camtasia was not free, which is the most unfortunate part of this story project. It was like 200, 300. I don't remember if anybody else remembers how. This was for someone who was just a college student back in the day. This is a significant chunk of money. So I was not happy with this at all. Camtasia had been fine for like the majority of what I wanted to do, and it was certainly better than that piece of crap Windows Movie Maker, but god dang it, this is like the most pissed off I got at Camtasia was when I couldn't at the time think of how to render this episode without ruining the whole freaking series of clips and little things that I included. So yeah, you get a non-intro here. Luckily, though, you get my favorite thing after the intro, so... Faster intro. Faster.
Game over. Not yet. You lose, Zelos. There's no way even Zelos could have survived that. Guess again. Oh, that little brat.
Easily my favorite sequence in the entire series right there. There are a couple things I can nitpick about it. A couple things I got a little unlucky with, like when Zelos jumps off the ramp here or whatever. He kind of jumps a little too high. Where are we going here? Yeah. He kind of jumps a little too high, so he vaults too much. And you can, if you pay like really close attention, you can tell Kajido's actually not angled correctly here. He's not actually going to hit Zelos if he connects with this swing. This is two different shots. This is the first shot, obviously, but this is a complete cut to a different attempt when he makes the swing. And yeah, there's no way he was going to hit that. Oh god, look at that distortion on the pause there. Jesus, it looks terrible. There were a couple things I got really lucky with though. When this is like really weird. Is this it? No, it's a little before. It's with the skeleton. So he's going to hit the skeleton, right? But at the same time, his blade connects with the skeleton and he bounces back. He ricochets. It's moving like just fast enough that you could believe he deflected Kajido's attack at the same time. It's like it doesn't really come close to it when you look at it, but if you're like slowing it down and everything. But it was kind of lucky, and so that's fine. The other thing I'd probably nitpick about this is the thing with the random cut to the skeleton. But man, this fight just went so smoothly, and it was like it's like easily my favorite sequence in the entire series. There's very little banter. There's just no wasted time. They immediately go for each other, and yeah, so we got my favorite fight of all time in Tales.
Brat. Yes.
And then we get the Grunt Man. There he is, the Grunt Man, taking over for Ango here. I don't remember the name of the person who did the original Ango voice, but he had vanished. You know, again, same excuse as Teamudf took forever to get these things out, so. I was finally like, yo, Grunt Man, do you think you can do this voice for me? And he did the thing.
Throwbacks can be quite unfortunate.
Yeah, you can kind of hear... I think Grunt Man really got into it, and I appreciate the job he did for me. You can kind of tell sometimes he cut his mic a little too quickly, or when I think he might have edited some of the clips himself, and something like they're just, you snap your finger and like the clip is over, so I gotta like quickly scramble to fix some things. There's not a really good chance to do like a fade out or a subtle dip or something. But man, he came to the rescue here to get this character out and about. So yeah, here we go.
What? Who are you?
Come now, Kajito. You know exactly who I am. Master Vath would not appreciate you.
Master Vath would not appreciate you forgetting him or something like that. This is a similar thing that I did with Nikolai in an earlier episode where I actually gave him the entire line to say, and then I just picked the spot that I would have Kajito cut him off. Because again, I feel like if you say the entire line and then you have an arbitrary interruption cut, I think it's more natural than if you tell the voice actor to suddenly cut in the middle of the sentence. You know, something like that, basically.
Wait.
That's much better. Now then, I wish to extend an invitation and a request. See, the Unholy Leader is hosting a tournament filled with riches and power beyond your wildest dreams. We invite all of Cyrodiil's top warriors to compete under the condition that they ante up one valuable of their own.
If that's alive, why is he having you tell me all this?
He has already chosen a venue.
Oh,
Your Imperial City.
man,
So
that
what
cut.
say you, Mr. High Chancellor?
What? How did you...
Maybe I can persuade you.
Maybe he can persuade you in... Unfortunately, immediately after my favorite fight in the whole series, he can persuade you in my least favorite fight in the whole series. Oh God, man. I really wish I tried harder on this, but I'm flying this camera around and I can't get any good angles on the two. It's two NPCs fighting while I've got Zelos hidden somewhere and I'm just filming everything. Now, you may remember... Now, those of you especially who played Oblivion, that the way sound travels relative to the player character's position. So, if something gets too far away from the player character itself, it doesn't matter where you have positioned the camera. The sound is a distance measured from the character's position, not the physical camera. So when I use the console command TFC here to get the free, toggle free camera, when I toggle free camera, I leave my character somewhere, but if these two run off from that position, the sound dims, and it happens a couple times here. So the lesson here is the same lesson that I've been giving in the majority of the series, is you just have to give yourself more takes. You have to just redo things sometimes. It's okay. This is a lesson that I have taken forever to learn. I was such a blanket perfectionist that I don't even know if that's the right word, because it's like, I don't know. I would sometimes always think, okay, well, I guess that's the best I got. But man, just, do it. And then they do that at the start of the fight. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. They both use their goofy invisibility spell at the start of the fight, because I can't control what the NPCs are doing. I can't control their move sets or which actions they decide to take. So I was trying to get one of those natural fights out of this, and then they just gave me like all this bogus crap. So I'm desperately trying to give like cool camera angles and cuts here, but man, they're getting further away from the player characters, so the sound is getting quieter. It's fast-paced action, but I also that was the one way I tried to salvage it, is I noticed that they both flung back at the same time. I thought that was like the only time I got lucky there. They do that big strike and then back off, so I'm like, okay, this works. They're on opposite sides of the bridge. I don't really get the exact, because I had to have them stand. I didn't have to have them stand. I made the mistake of having them stand adjacent to each other on the bridge. But I should have had this diagonal angle for the shot. But I tried that.
I didn't know the cowardly Kajito could fight.
Shut up. You go tell your boss that Kajito Nolan doesn't pander to anybody.
What a shame. And here I was told not to kill you.
Oh yeah, right, the what a shame thing. That was supposed to be... So I do these little random character quirks, and I know every writer should, but what I thought would be nice here is a little subtlety that Ango borrows phrases from his master. Ango borrows the what a shame phrase from Vath because he looks up to Vath and trusts him as the honored listener and everything. So what a shame is a phrase that Vath commonly uses. So I'm like, all right, Ango's going to adapt that phrase here, and that's like the small show that he appreciates his leader, I guess. I don't know. There you go.
Well, maybe I can hold back just a bit.
What are you talking about?
God, I wish I could do more of a subtle... I probably could these days do a more subtle cut for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a Midas magic spell that I don't remember the name of. It's actually a couple things put together. There's an effect for the sky that I use, and then the way that this meteor attack worked is that it sprayed a bunch of meteors from the player character's position. So anytime you see these meteors flying around, they're actually coming from me. I'm not exactly directing all of them individually. It was just kind of this spray and pray kind of technique. I wish I could remember the name of it more accurately, because this was I think I discovered this as I was filming the scene, because I wanted Ango to have some big giant attack that would look like it's really freaking strong, but he says beforehand that he's holding back. So whatever ridiculous technique he does here, that's supposed to suggest that he has something even more dangerous in his arsenal. And so the point was to get speculation started, if this is him holding back, what the flid does he actually have that he can do? And this guy is supposed to be the underling of Vath, so how powerful does that make Vath? I don't know. I like doing these little what-if speculations in my head, and they don't always work. People weren't particularly interested in this aspect of the episode, and that's fine, but this is how sometimes I make decisions when I write and design things like this. Is I kind of ask myself what would be an ideal conversation that the audience has about this scene, and so that's how I kind of piece things together. If you see a bunch of meteors flying around and it's supposed to be one of his holding back attacks, then what's the rest of it? So yeah,
What the heck is going on?
my sentiments exactly. And he's down because I couldn't figure out a good way to do him getting
Don't
hit.
worry, Mr. Cuddy-Do. Help has arrived.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Child's play.
To be honest, would you actually expect Tyron and Benji to stand a chance against this man right now? I bet you wouldn't. So,
Well, I say you're outnumbered. I think it's...
Oh, you can see me. I'm right back. Oh, I don't have the cursor on. Take a look over Benji's right shoulder. You can see, if you look really closely, you can see Zelos's arms. That's so I moved the camera, but I guess I didn't notice that I was in the shot, because I had perfectly placed myself just out of reach, so I could have moved somewhere else, but yeah. The funny part about that is I actually just noticed that right now. so there you go. All right, let's rewind a couple seconds here. I sorry about that. I was like, oh god, I'm in the shot.
Well, I say you're outnumbered. I think it's time for you to surrender.
But he's actually not alone. Also, there's something really weird here that I actually can't explain. So the way that... one other detail about how the spell works first, to make some sense out of this, is the sound that was being played for the meteor attack is not something that I inserted. That was a physical aspect of one of the spells I was using, and I think it might have been a feature of the Oblivion Sky spell, the spell that's warping the sky. So it would just play every so often. So on occasion, you would end up with scenes where there's too big of an interval between rumbling sounds being made, or there's too short of an interval. But the one thing that was kind of weird that happened here is this it's a little, I don't know how to describe it. it's kind of like this unsettling beat that looms when I do shots of the disciples here. I don't remember what they were called. I'm just calling them disciples now, I guess, for advanced big brain headcanon out of the future. But there's like a little just rumble that you can hear in the background that I did not intend to be there, but it kind of adds to the scene. If you have headphones on, I think you can notice it way more. But it's like it does the big camera. That's something you would see in like a big show, right? When they do a big reveal or whatever. Like they have this sudden sound to announce the presence of other characters. But I did not insert this sound, nor did I expect it to be there. It just kind of showed up. There it is. There it is. And it does one here too, which is how you can tell it's unintentional, because why would I want that on Benji and Tyrant? I don't need that there. But yeah, so that was kind of cool, but then I got unlucky and it happens a third time. Yeah, get that shot of nothing happening.
The heck is going on up here?
Ah, so you still walk. My master must have gone easy on you. But I expect you'll be attending this scum's tournament as well.
Tournament?
When that fool wakes up, maybe he'll reconsider my proposal. Next time I won't be so forgiving. Make sure you bring all your legendary artifacts to the tournament.
This is kind of fun. Basically, I held the camera here and I went in the console and I did whatever it was I had to do. I don't remember what I had to do here. Maybe this was a console command or something. Maybe it wasn't a spell to change this guy. But whatever it was, what I think I had to do to get this to work was if you quick save when you're in the camera mode and then quick load, I noticed that you would stay in the same spot. So I actually, I don't think I remembered, I either didn't remember how to get rid of this guy or I had to use a console command to get this guy. If I didn't know how to get rid of this guy, I had to quick save and then quick load with the camera in the same spot. Oh.
Artifacts to the tournament.
Oh. Gotta see it again without the distortion. I don't know why this is distorting on me. Maybe it's because I have things behind the screen. There you go, there it is. Let's minimize some windows here, see if that doesn't help out. I don't need anything else up anyway. I'm not like reading off notes right now. I got no notes for this. So we're doing this all live. So there you go. All right.
What was all that about?
Didn't work.
How did he do that to Cyrodiil?
Yeah, it's okay.
Quick, fast travel. Yeah, fast travel.
Yeah, fast travel.
Great. Tournament, huh? There's no tournaments going on right now. What was he talking about?
So obviously Zelos is trying to put this all together. This kind of gets into advanced topics for after we're done with the episodes here. But it's like at this point, Zelos is already trying to solve the puzzle. There's no tournaments going on in Cyrodiil. This mysterious guy is alluding to a tournament, but Ango words it in such a way that it looks like Cyrodiil is supposed to be the host. And so Zelos is like there's a couple pieces of dialogue there where one suggests Cyrodiil is hosting it and one suggests he's not. So Zelos is like focused in on the detail here that Cyrodiil is supposed to be hosting the tournament. He's like, that wouldn't make any sense because remember, Zelos has no idea that Cyrodiil is the High Chancellor. At no point in any of these episodes has that information been revealed to him as a character. So he's like, what's going on here? I'm just gonna do a big anti-greet.
Does Cyrodiil know anything about this? Huh.
That's the for the I wonder if. That's the I wonder if, Alright, I'll shut up. Sounds kind of lame.
So, Runetail, when the gods brought you back and told you about Cyrodiil collecting the Elder Scroll artifacts, however many years ago by now,
Womp, womp.
did they mention what he was going to do with them?
I am sorry, my friend, but I was not given too many details. All I know is that it's dangerous for him to get his hands on them.
I don't trust anything that's going on. That guy on the bridge. He mentioned wanting a bunch of artifacts at some tournament, but I don't get what he was talking about. It all happened before I could get back up there. Well, you should have brought me along. I could have given them the old 1-2. Huh! If you mean the 1-2 flea, then yeah, that's perfect for someone like you. You know, I hope there is a tournament just so I can put you out of your misery once and for all. Well, if you want to do that, all you have to do is leave. That'd make me the happiest guy on earth.
Remember those 2 lines.
Yep, he said earth. Quick, fanboys, attack! I'll have to keep an eye out. I'm suspicious about something.
Oh yeah, the Earth thing, right? Because people would have like infamous arguments over Tamriel and Nirn's names and using them properly. Getting this, like, you're actually referring to Tamriel, not Cyrodiil, and you're actually referring to Nirn, not Tamriel. Things like that. So that was like my little jab at that. It's no big deal.
The devil is he so serious about? Well, I don't know. Why are you still here?
Well, somebody on this team has to actually accomplish something.
Now you're just talking crazy.
I like how his head is like slowly moving, but he's following the crab or whatever it was. What the heck was that thing in the? Gosh darn it, I don't remember. It's in episode 3, the thing in Cleon's Emporium. Spidey or whatever. The thing that Zelos calls it, the little mechanical spider. Yeah, his face is following that, but I don't know. As a result, we got an inadvertent thing. But yeah, Zelos has his... Zelos, I think, might have his Hello Kitty sword or his dual-wielding sword by now. I don't remember the difference between the swords, actually. It's been a very long time.
Rare artifacts. We don't have any of those. Unless...
Oh yeah, right, this first.
You know, who put these ruins here?
So this was the, what was it called? Mana Marco Resurrection or whatever. It just happened to put some ruins in, like, close to the same spot where the Ancient Towers mod was. But I refused to uninstall Mana Marco Resurrection, because I needed it for a couple things. So I just left it in, but I felt the need to... There have been a couple jokes in my playthroughs about who lives next to Zelos, and does Zelos know that Mana Marco lives next to him. Like, people were actually interested in the lore of Tales back then. So I would get these questions every once in a while. And I finally decided to shout it out here, where it was just like, Zelos would at least recognize the ruins, but I had no plans for who lived there yet. But I would finally take advantage of this in the future, but that is quite a while in the making, alongside the 2 lines that I told you to remember. So if you're hoping for those answers this episode, you will not get them. That is for later.
Oh, come on, Mathacalido. It wasn't that bad.
Get out of here, Benji! Just get out!
Well, what should we do?
I don't know. I didn't know he could actually feel defeat.
I guess we better just keep working on the banner.
Very well. That H is bound to fit sooner or later.
Yay! The freaking banner running gimmick. The other thing... God, what was the other thing? I just listened to it and now I forgot. Let's rewind.
Well, what should we do?
I don't know.
Is it this?
Oh, come on, Mathacalido. What?
Oh, right. I was just going to give the Destiny's Horizon trivia. So, I mentioned this in my big, I think it was my 2500 solution, or not solution, celebration or whatever. The 2500 video, 2500th video. I guess I don't count those anymore these days, do I? Anyway, in my written series, Destiny's Horizon, I actually flip the roles on who is the aggressor and who's the defender. In Tales from Cyrodiil, Kajido is the defender, and Vath is the aggressor, and Kajido completely fears Vath. In Destiny's Horizon, Kajido is actually vengeful toward Vath and actively tries to kill him several times. So, I have no real explanation for why I changed this. Maybe I had one back then and have forgotten by now. So if you visit the 2500 video and I talk about the trivia, but it seems slightly different from now, maybe that'll give you a better hint. I guess I should rewatch that myself and see if anything triggers my memories here. Because, you know, so many years have passed by now that I like start to forget my own lore sometimes. But this one for sure, I know for sure, is that I swapped, but I don't remember why I swapped.
I didn't know he could actually feel defeat.
I guess we better just keep working on the banner.
Very well. That H is bound to fit sooner or later.
And it didn't.
Vath, how could this be?
Oh, are those Zelos' gloves? Didn't this happen several other times in the series? I think he's got the wrong gloves on here. I don't remember.
Vath, how could this be? If he's really back. Yeah, I'm a sitting duck in here.
I love this view of the Elder Council chambers, dude. It was such a good mod.
Mr. High Chancellor. Yeah. It's just you. What are you doing here?
The reason I like this scene is because it's the first time that you get any hint that Hunter and Sean are actually decent at their job. The whole gimmick of Kajido's team is that Tyron is supposed to be the straight man who's surrounded by complete misfits and bumbling fools who can't get things right. But then it's like, I kind of turn that on its side here when Sean actually pitches a fairly competent idea. Hunter's still kind of a meme, though.
Oh, come on. You can't let a punk like that get the better of you. Shut up! You don't know anything about these conniving brats. All my plans are about to go up in smoke because of this. Well, I've got the perfect plan for you then. See if it's intimidation you're worried about. All you gotta do is look bigger than the other guy. Please, Hunter. Now listen, Mr. High Chancellor. You got all those Mythic Dawn guys, but you gotta start using them. Take everything you want by force and show everyone who's boss. Nobody will want to mess with ya. Yeah, and have them crush those mud crabs into itty-bitty pieces. Ooh, I can just see them now, all muddy and crabby. I would have already done that if I could have. Crush mud crabs? No, you simpleton. The Mythic Dawn. I just can't have them come in here and run the joint. Somebody will see them and my cover will be blown. It's bad enough Vath and his little boy toy know exactly what I'm up to. They could get to me anytime they wanted. Well, see, that's why you need that extra backup. Get the boys some new armor and put them in the palace. I could call them the Elite Legion. Yes, but we need to get those artifacts before them.
There's a little bit of an awkward cut here that I can't quite remember the explanation for, but those two lines definitely do not follow each other. The tone in Kajido's voice is just a little bit off when he says but we need to get those artifacts before them. I probably had a different line, like there was probably more to the conversation, but I cut it out and cut ahead to him referring to the artifact race. But it's a little weird if you're paying attention, I guess. I don't know.
Why are you so scared of those guys anyway?
So this is meant to be the flashback. Like he's and this is again where my more subtle editing skills these days would really have come in handy, because I could do a fade or some kind of flash to the or flashback thing here, but I didn't have those tools or that knowledge back then. So I think people might have thought this scene was randomly out of place, but be prepared, because this is the only time in the footage that you get to see something. In like all of the Tales series, this is the only time you get to see a specific thing. I don't know why I'm telling you to pay attention. I say things. No, I'm kidding. All right. I love this freaking sound. That is it. This is the shot. This is the only time in all of the Tales from Cyrodiil footage. This is the only hint. This is the only mention. Nothing else foreshadows this. This is the only time you can see the final enemy, the final true villain of Tales from Cyrodiil. It's this guy right here. At no other point is he even like remotely close to being mentioned. But in this one scene, I flash him for just a couple seconds here, and I invert the colors to make it hard to see what in the flit is going on here. But in this commentary series, I decided pretty early on that you would get an exclusively long look at him, and I would explain exactly what he is, but I won't tell you anything else beyond that. But again, this is the only time you see the final villain of Tales from Cyrodiil in the Tales footage. This is me breathing in and out repeatedly. And this is a fairly common Kevin MacLeod song that you hear in videos. This is the Silent Hill mod that I'm in as well. There's Vath's sword right on the ground there. And there's another couple of artifacts. The hammer is just a random stupid thing that I found. It's actually not what's the hammer? Keening are the gauntlets, right? Wraithguard are the gauntlets. Is Keening the hammer? No, Sunder's the hammer. Well, it's not Sunder. You know that's not Sunder because you've seen Sunder in previous episodes. So it's just a hammer, and I don't know. I don't remember if I had a plan for what the other goofy thing was supposed to be. I don't use them in any of my future plans, so I guess they're just two random things on the ground as far as the canon is concerned. But I'm like, I'll throw some mysterious things on the ground. And that was the voice of the final villain of Tales from Cyrodiil. But, well, I guess you'll have to hear more about that another time.
Never mind that. You two are going to be the head of my new elite army. I'm not going to die, Vath. You will. Or my name's not Cuzzido freaking Nolan.
Gotta get the Cuzzido freaking Nolan out there. Behold the panning of the camera. And I guess that was it for this episode. And I give you the spokens. More spokens. Oh, and then here are my piss poor attempts to do something exciting with the fight. Good God, this fight. Let's rewatch the Zealous Cuzzido fight just to... Oh, there it is. It finally blew up. It only took 55 years. We ended up with a question in chat. Project wants to know where the voice clip is from. That is a random royalty-free resource, but I was like, I bet I can get this. I bet I can get my voice close enough to this when the time comes, and I can do the voice myself. And the premise for that idea is actually How from GX. I'm like, I thought about the differences between in the Japanese version. I thought about the differences between Jaden's voice and Hao's voice, the Supreme King, and I'm like, I bet I can pull that exact effect off. So I randomly had the sound clip one day, and I'm like, this actually feels like something I could tweak my voice into. So I'll throw it in here as kind of a subtle little weird thing, and then later on I'll just adjust my voice accordingly. And it won't be perfectly a match, but I know I can get that pitch, basically. So there's the trivia behind that. I wonder, actually, if I have any more specifics to that, because I do believe I still have the sound effect. If I just waste a little bit of your time here, and I go to my horror file. Sound effects. Oh, God, right, I downloaded a bunch of... Oh, wait, it's not this one. Where's the smaller sound effects file? Oh, no. Alright, I might have to take a rain check on that. I have too many... Oh, wait, here we go. I have the clip. It says, Evil Laugh Male 6 High Man. And then there's a bunch of numbers after it. So I guess that's where I got that from. Somewhere. I guess is the answer. Alright, there's like 7 seconds left here.
Da-da!
Doing the usual joke where I show you where I am on the camera, but not really.
Oh, psych out.
I was actually... God dang it, this distortion has ruined my joke. Oh, well. In any case, I wasn't actually there.
Da-da! Oh, psych out.
I was actually there. Can you solve this murder, chat? Can you solve this murder all along? That's the end of episode 13. The Darkness Approaches. Found it? Good. Yeah, I wouldn't suspect it's very hard to find. I feel like I found it a couple times after the fact. But, yeah, I was like, okay, we're going to make that a really haunting laugh for the final villain, and then I'm just going to do what I can to mimic it later, because, you know, I don't have the resources to hunt down. Yeah, it's a fantastic laugh. I love it. Especially when I kind of screwed it up based on where I paused the episode as I was explaining it. But the fade out to the laugh is actually like a great timing too. I'll try to get it again here.
Never mind that.
You get just a little bit of echo as it floats to the Kajido scene, because it's supposed to be in his head. It's supposed to be a flashback. And since I didn't have any other way to do the flashbacks, that was like kind of my way of trying to drive the nail in there that scene was relevant to something. But yeah, there you go. Episode 14 is The Blue Who Cried Orange. And it stars purple. No, it doesn't, but you know.
Mr. High Chancellor, after some extensive training, we present to you the first graduating class into the Elite Legion. Excellent. Excellent. Hunter, tell Benji and Tyron to start work on the tournament flyers. You wanna play, Vath? Let's play.
Let's play The Legend of Zelda Parallel Worlds with Teamudf. I could never... Let's Playing ruined this line for me, because it sounds so good, but when you're a Let's Player and you listen to this line, it just sounds like you're referring to Let's Plays. And so I'm just like, darn it, man. I can't even enjoy this line as much as I should be able to. But yeah, so Sean and Hunter, Sean's plan rather to get Kajido to bring in some of the Mythic Dawn work. And so Kajido's got this new Legion. I do just want to say something a little personal as we get into this episode here. I do want to thank everybody who enjoyed this episode. I feel like this is one of the most popular episodes from the fans' perspective. A lot of people left behind comments on this one, and they really seem to enjoy it. And people will still occasionally bring this one up to me. So it's like almost filler, but I guess what I ended up doing was good enough for you guys, and so that means it's good enough for me. I actually had a lot of fun with this one too. There are a couple nifty trivia bits about it that I already remember, and I can't wait to share them with you. So yeah, let's enjoy this one here. And get the usual pan to the skies, except I did a fade for once. But yeah, the tower to the tower, you know, on purpose.
Where the devil are you going again? I'm gonna take a trip to Frost Crag and check on something. If you can, try not to wreck the place while I'm out.
I always do this joke with my students. All the time. Some variant of it. I'll do something like, I need to go check on something, try not to burn the room down when I'm gone. I always do some variant of this joke with my students. It's just a high profile traditional Teamudf classroom nonsense in here. But yeah, so I gave that to Zelos.
Oh, don't worry, Jello. I'll keep an eye on him.
Will you be okay by yourself?
Yeah, I'd just feel better if someone sane kept an eye on the tower. You know I can be back whenever.
Okay. Good luck.
Alright, party time.
I got so lucky. He was just supposed to stand there and do the line, but he spun around. I don't know why he spun around. Based on where Captain Blue and Alicia are looking, I suspect that I'm standing immediately off the screen to the left. And so when the NPC, you know, they see you, they kind of spin around. But I don't think I intended Cleon to spin around here, but it makes so much sense that he does in the scene.
Alright, party time.
You're grounded.
Wait, he's not looking at me. He's doing that thing where he shuffles. So I got even luckier than that. I know what that animation is. Yeah, every time I rewatch this series, I figure out something different about it.
Alright, party time.
Here because he's about to turn back. He's doing the thing where he looks around suspiciously. All the NPCs in Oblivion do that. All right, well that's even luckier than I thought. Then never mind.
You're grounded.
Bam.
What the devil? No fair.
I don't remember why I make this cut. it might have been something like he doesn't fit in the igloo or he warps out of the igloo or something. I can't remember why I had... Oh, wait. I bet it doesn't fully land on the ground. Because it's at an angle. And that explains the top-down view in the next shot. I bet that's what it is. So I felt the need to make the cut before it was obvious that it wouldn't be perfectly placed on the ground. Okay.
What the devil? No fair.
Because you can't tell here. You can't tell whether it's on the ground up here or not. Huh.
I don't know. You've never looked better. Oh, I'm out of here.
Well, at least they won't be getting in our way anytime soon.
Works every time.
I don't think I properly led her into that line, but it's there. The intro is back, though. Behold the intro. Now you don't have to go to AmericanIdol.com, whatever the stupid joke was. Look, there he is, Spidey. I guess I just had to wait an episode.
Oh man, it's so boring around here right now.
Well, McGain is out training, so I don't have anything else to do either.
Shay, why are you always reading anyway?
God dang. What? Alright.
Oh, I'm doing a study on rule utilitarianism and how it intersects with the values of the Nine.
Oh, sounds exciting.
I had my friend Kozak in mind when I did this line, because he had a great delivery on something. Someone was talking to him about something. I can't remember what it was, but he just gave off the most bland, oh, that sounds kind of interesting, I guess. Oh, the Sean voice is the Kozak voice, by the way. I don't know if I ever explained that earlier, so there's like 2 bits of trivia for one. But it's just the way that he said, oh, sounds exciting, to one time to somebody. I was like, dude, this man is not going to be dead right here, so I decided to reference it.
Oh, really? Well, I could use a new protege. If we can figure out the perfect combination, we might be able to bring peace to the whole world.
Well, that seems like it has less of a chance of working than Cleon's court defense. Cleon, Butcher of Armandale, you stand accused of selling illegal goods, offering weaponry to minors, disturbing the peace, bribing Imperial Guard officials, false advertising, operating a business without a license, selling alcoholic beverages without a license, driving under the influence, assault, arson, and insurance fraud. How do you plead? Now hold on just a minute. Those goods weren't illegal. I stole them fair and square.
Just the best defense I've ever heard in my life. Just, no, how could you top that? Obviously they let him go. I mean, obviously they let him. There's no way they could condemn someone with such a pure heart as Cleon, the Butcher of Armandale. Freaking love this scene.
Okay, this is going to be an experiment in kindness. Are you ready?
Well, I'm not entirely sure I get what you're talking
There
about.
it is again.
Oh, come on, just like we practiced. Now go over there and get him.
Shay, I bet you could use some help.
I hate... Okay. I had... This was basically... I didn't know what to do. I probably just shouldn't have done it. But... God, just everything about this scene, on the other hand, is like...
With what?
You know, cooking and stuff.
There's another one of those awkward cuts right there where there was some sound or some line that I ended up not liking beforehand. So you get this awkward cut into saying, you know, cooking and stuff.
And what do you know about cooking?
Well, I was a master chef back in my time, you know. Got a few special techniques for making a smorgasbord of good stuff. Besides, it's gotta be better than what Cleon gave me last night.
The sandwiches?
Alright, there you go, everybody. Master Chef Captain Blue is gonna help these fine ladies with cooking, but the retort he has for last night's meal is to condemn the sandwiches. Because you see, while Teamudf is sitting around at his computer thinking of lines, the best thing he'd come up with for what Captain Blue would have had a problem with are sandwiches. Not like actual food, sandwiches.
Yeah, those were the worst sandwiches I've ever had. It was like eating spoiled tauntaun ham from a broken refrigerator.
Do you like Star Wars references? I bet you like Star Wars references. I wonder how many Star Wars references there are in this episode.
We made that, you jerk.
Also, we made that. What, the sandwiches? That referring to the sandwiches. I had... If I'd picked anything in the world other than sandwiches, this scene would not drive me nearly as crazy as it does. But I had to pick sandwiches and have the whole thing not make any freaking sense.
But Cleon said... I'm trapped in an igloo and I still got your captain, idiot. Immortality and greatness.
Okay, so we struck out there. Maybe we should try.
Oh, no way! I'm out of here. Gonna go find something else to do.
Sheevan was right. That does work every time.
I guess even though the joke is ran twice, I don't really know what they're referring to when they say that works every time, because the two that's, which worked every time, are completely different from one another. So, I guess it's supposed to be that you find something intentionally that you know will make them leave the vicinity of the house. But that doesn't really make sense when you run it with the first one. And the first one would be threatening to do something to Captain Blue that Sheevan already did to Cleon, but that doesn't make in context of the second one. But, so I don't know. I guess their plot is inconsistent, but consistent within whatever world they're in. I don't know.
Oh, forget them. I can have plenty of fun out here on my own.
Behold this. Wow. Oh my god, that swing. God, look at that frame drop on that swing, dude. Just right at the end.
Nothing dangerous out here. At least nothing I can't handle. Captain Blue! Sweet irony and Lipton soup. What's that?
It's supposed to say sweet irony and Lipton soup. I have no idea if that reading of the line ever made it to people's ears. It just sounds like it's a jumble of crap all run together, but it's supposed to say sweet irony and Lipton soup. I must have had Lipton soup that day. I don't know. Behold this pirate ship, which I think was a mod. You could just plant the ship. Oh.
Why, hello there, Blue.
Commander Orange! My established rival who we haven't seen up until this point.
So yeah, this is the infamous Captain Orange. Commander Orange, I'm sorry. This is the infamous Commander Orange, which is a running joke that took place among several people in the YouTube comment section where, you know, because there was no explanation for why this guy was named Captain Blue. So the joke was that he just had a bunch of other friends, or he had rivals or something with other colors in their name. And so this episode I finally decided, all right, you know what, screw it. Commander Orange is going to be a canon part of this Tales universe here.
What are you doing here?
Oh, come on, aren't you glad to see me?
Well, don't even start with this again. I'm out of here.
Oh, no you don't. You're not escaping without a fight. That is, unless you're feeling yellow.
You realize this is why they indicted you.
So yeah, he has to make a color pun in like all of his lines. That's his gimmick. He has to make a freaking color pun. And if he doesn't make a color pun, he's not doing it right. But funny enough, I was having a conversation with Kozak before making this episode, and he was talking about people getting indicted, and I like the word had slipped my mind, and so I was like, oh man, that's a great word for this, and so I threw that word into the episode. Otherwise, I probably would have not even had a suggestion that Commander Orange had been like removed from his previous position or whatever. So I don't know. Kozak influenced like two things in this episode.
Captain Blue's
Oh
been
no.
gone for a while.
Realize this is why they indicted you.
Let's rewind. There we go.
Captain Blue's been gone for a while.
It is getting late. I wonder if he ran into trouble.
Maybe we should go out and check on him. But let's not.
A great delivery by Zan there for Alicia. I love that exchange of lines. However, as you can see, there's a couple problems here. Ruined Tail's kind of hanging out everywhere in this room because the NPC just kind of walked around, and for some reason I just didn't use the one mod to hold him in place. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess I just didn't notice it. But a couple people pointed it out in the comments when I first released the episode. Oh, I'm I'm standing like inside the ship here, and I'm launching attacks from where I best think the cannon is. That's basically how I'm doing this one. And then I shot a bunch of them at like different intervals so that they would explode in different spots. So this is a completely different shot. Well, I mean, obviously, but I'm like standing almost right on top of the ship here, and I launched a bunch of things in random directions, and then I cut back in when I thought I'd get good explosions out of it. I also don't know, this is not a distortion. This is like in the episode, you can see it. These like lines, I don't know if those lines were actually in Oblivion or if they're there from the recording. This was a mystery I never figured out. I didn't really try that hard to figure it out, but I was always like, man, what the heck are those lines? So I don't know. Now here comes another awkward cut.
You ain't like a stormtrooper.
The line is supposed to be, ha, you aim like a stormtrooper. But for some reason, another sound or some goofy thing got picked up in the translation of the line, so I cut it out, and he just says, you aim like a stormtrooper, with no, like, lead up into the line. It's not too bad, but I know it was there originally, so I know why it's worse, basically.
You ain't like a stormtrooper. Well, you shoot like Greedo. Greedo never even shot. It's the point. Oh.
Now, a really weird anomaly happened in this episode. For some reason, in between, like, the introduction to Commander Orange and, like, the scene after it, I forgot how to do the Commander Orange voice. It was one scene in between the two. And I was like, wait, what am I supposed to be doing for this? And so it's like, it might be just me, because I think I remember exactly how perfect the first voice was. But then I couldn't, like, get back the magic. And so it was like, every scene after that, it was actually a very slight variation on the voice. And it drove me crazy, because I thought the original voice was perfect. I don't even know if I can do it these days. Why, hello there, Blue. Something like that, I guess, would be the line. But I just somehow in the span of two scenes forgot how to do this freaking voice. And so I'm doing all of these. These were like things where I did takes over and over again, because I'm just like, no, that wasn't the voice. It was very slightly different from that. And I'm listening back to the scenes and I'm trying to replicate, and I'm like, why can't I get this voice down again? But I don't know, maybe nobody ever noticed even that much of a difference until I pointed it out.
Now don't move. This one's coming right at you.
Oh, he's too strong. What should I do?
The time is right.
Can you believe this is a freaking random MIDI in my Tales from Cyrodiil? It's the second MIDI, technically, because the intro is a MIDI, but yeah, no. This MIDI would go on to be used in Final Level to the 4th in AU. So, there you go. There's some random nonsense for you.
Strong. What should I do?
The time is right.
Who's that? Wait a minute.
I do like how he's spinning in the first scene, and I got him to spin again here. I must just have waited for some of these spins to trigger. But yeah, it's supposed to be the whole smoke and mirrors thing. You have the epiphany for how to win at the very end or whatever. You know, this trope has been played out time and time again in media. But the only thing I couldn't get back then was like the fog cloud effect, you know, where Captain Blue enters his own mind or whatever. So you just get like a random scene transition. I'm sure there was something else I could have done about it. Maybe like a blinding light spell or whatever, like I did the Kajido transformation in episode 10, but I just didn't think of it.
Who's that? Wait a minute.
Remember, Captain Idiot, if you're ever in trouble, you'll know when to use it.
Oh, come on. You have to call me that in the flashback, too.
It's my thing. Now use the bloody watermelon or die. I don't care.
And then suddenly there.
Hey, Orange, what's white and black and red all over?
I don't know. What?
Well, I don't know either. I was hoping you would help me figure it out. But never mind. It's time for me to finish this. Try this out for size.
It's just the lamest launch, dude. I can't. Alright, so, yeah, the watermelon throwback from Cleon's illegal weapon emporium and casino. This is me just traveling forward in the sky. I'm the camera here, and I'm just traveling forward. That's why it looks like such a terrible arc on the watermelon, but, you know.
Oh, crap! It was just a regular watermelon! Well, what the devil did you think it was? Shut up, Flashback Leon! I thought it was supposed to be an ultimate weapon! No, it's a healthy snack. Much healthier than that pathetic junk food you usually shovel down your throat. Sometimes, Cleon, I don't care for you that much. Well...
So, I mean, you know, Cleon's a health buff, right? He's always condemning Captain Blue for eating too many carbs and calls him Captain Spaghetti, and he talks about his yogurt pretzels, which only are 100 calories per pack. Basically, Cleon is just he's always got like this side discussion about the health items, but in fact he does not give Captain Blue the explosive watermelon. He gives him the healthy snack watermelon, which is finally like the payoff to all the stupid banter about the health food snacks. So that joke finally came to a rest in this one.
I'm out of ammo. Now what do we do? Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Wait a minute. How did you get up here? Oh, I think you forgot about the power of the Midas Magic Carpet. Available now on Midas Magics is everywhere for only 6 monthly payments of $19.95. But wait, call right now. We'll give you a second copy absolutely free. Absolutely free? Absolutely free. Wow. What else can I get in this fine package? This magic unicorn. Wow, amazing. Wait, hey, that's mine. You mean it was yours? So long, sucker!
Then everyone dies, I guess.
Captain Blue is the true hero of Cyrodiil! In your face, Cleon! Well, I'm gonna call you Captain Uniblue!
I do have to admit that the person in the past who suggested Captain Bluenicorn, I think that's the better name. So I guess if I ever end up doing anything else with the series, like if I ever, you know, novelize it or, you know, take all the copyrighted stuff out and make my own series or whatever, I think I'm just gonna use the name Captain Bluenicorn because that one is better. So well done, whoever did that. I don't remember.
Now return to the skies, my friend, and I'll see you later.
Oh yeah, this actually was kind of intentional. I had to time this.
Well, I'm gonna call you Captain Uniblue. Now return to the skies, my friend, and I'll see you later.
There was like a timer on when the unicorn would disappear, so I tried to work out when it would vanish, and I did the line over it. You know, like, you know, instead of a normal person just recording the unicorn disappearing and then dubbing over it. No, I had to make sure I got the timing right too, because it's just how Teamudf freaking did things.
An impressive feat indeed. Huh?
Alright, be honest with me. Did anyone like ever really care that it's obviously Vath's voice? I mean, like, who else could it be? It's like I do all these other weird divergent voices and exaggerated accents for all these other characters, but it's like, this is clearly Vath's voice. Surely, like, people had to have figured this out, or maybe they didn't even think I was trying to hide anything at all, but it's freaking Vath's voice. Like, what else could it be?
The way you vanquished your rival with such class and ability. Impressive. Oh, gee, thanks, mister. That's how Captain Blue does things around here. Yes, a true hero. Consider, though, that a true treasure would befit a true hero. What do you mean? I am much too old for adventures like yours anymore. But perhaps you can make use out of this legendary artifact. Please, accept it so that you may continue your journey. What is it? This is the Champion's Ring.
A ring. Where else could we have seen a ring?
If you wear it during battle, nothing will be able to stop you.
The champion's ring? Ha! I'm a great champion! I accept!
I know I can trust a great adventurer like you to keep it safe.
You bet! Thanks a lot! I can't wait to show Cleon up with this!
Enjoy, my young friend. You deserve it.
That was actually the sound that was made when that spell would run out. It was kind of interesting, but unfortunately, when the spell ran out, you look like your normal self. It was a spell that makes you kind of look ethereal, like some kind of ghost or whatever, but it's just immediately, like, snap of the finger, you're back to your normal self. So I had to make the cut before the sound, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it's not like that big of a problem. I think it actually works out. It probably actually works out better this way now that I think about it. But yeah. Let's see, you think there was speculation that it might have been the final villain since his episode just before that in the ring? Good, okay. I'm glad that some people at least connected the ring, because I'm like, they have to figure out it's the same ring, right? Like, at no other point did I make such a big deal out of an artifact. Like, not even Sunder, Keening, and Wraithguard, and they're like kind of the, you know, Sunder got 4 episodes, but you don't get that type of, like, camera angle on even Sunder, but you got it on this freaking random ring. So I'm sitting here like, I think I trust people enough to figure out that this has to be the same ring as the one in episode 13. So if you didn't catch it, it's the same ring as the one in episode 13. So there's something with the ring. But alas, we must depart this episode. Let's see what garbage did I have here. Just a nuclear...
Hello?
Oh.
Is anybody there? I'm tired and hungry.
I think you can see it here. On the far right, you can kind of tell it's not on the ground. So it's probably the reason for the shots I did earlier. I guess that works. So yeah, episode 14 was very well received. People just enjoyed the story about Captain Blue. So it was like, it was a worthwhile venture. I had a lot of fun making it. So I was glad to see that people enjoyed it so much. I can't remember a reception quite like the one for 14. And that's not to say that people didn't like the other episodes. Tales always had very positive feedback. But I just remember people being like, yo, it's an episode dedicated to Captain Blue. That's freaking awesome. And so it was kind of fun. But yeah, as you can tell, I kind of have more fancy music around here. This is where, like, the Epidemic Sound stuff came in and everything from my former partnership that I'm hoping doesn't end up making this video a problem, because I'm not trying to run roughshod on anything. It's just that's historically what we had at the time, and I can't pull that particular track off of the scene. So I don't know what else to do except play the old scene. But that leads us to episode 15, The Offering of Chaos. There's no the, actually, just Offering of Chaos. Which I think... Is this the shortest episode? No, episode 6 is the shortest. Okay, well, never mind.
Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself!
So, you know, obviously, if you strike an Oblivion NPC, you can't, they'll retaliate or whatever. They don't just typically sit there and take it. And I don't think I figured out a way to make Okado stand out of his chair, or sit in his chair while not getting aggroed. I'm sure there were ways to do it, but... So, Kajido's hitting him off screen, I guess.
Oh, come on. Surely you didn't train this elite guard just to bully Okado.
I suppose you're right.
And I thought we were supposed to be collecting legendary artifacts. Whatever happened to that?
Ah, fantastic idea, Tyron. The tournament will take a while to set up anyway.
Well, you need Wraithguard to wield Sunder, so why not find that first?
Good idea. Where is Sunder anyway? Ooh, don't worry, Master Kazido. I took care of everything. There
Kajido's stuff, don't touche.
was, no room for the... Don't even say it.
Well, after some extensive research, I think we've tracked down the cave where Wraithguard resides.
Well, let's get to that cave then. Wait a minute, what just happened? What are you talking about? We just said we were going to do something, and then did it. Why didn't we do this for Sunder? It took us 2 seconds to do what Inuyasha and Bleach can't do in an entire story arc. Ooh, I wanna try. We're gonna finally get that ice cream.
See, Benji sucks.
I did it. Oh, crap.
So it doesn't work for him. Can't cheat yet, dude. The running gag. He can't cheat yet.
Wait, this is Lake Arius. Wraithguard is here? Well, that's what our sources told us. But this is a Mythic Dawn hideout. How wouldn't I have known this? Well, to be fair, you're pretty lazy and don't do much of anything. Shut up. Just come in with me. You three stay out here and watch the entrance. Transition.
Yeah, I think I got that idea while the loading screen was up, because I don't remember, like, planning it. I'm just like, oh, dude, I should do transition jokes.
Yeah, it's good to see the old Mythic Dawn still never cleans up the blade trash. Hello, my good chum. We got some information that Wraithguard is here.
Oh, High Chancellor. Yes, of course. We've been expecting you. We've stored it in the Dagon Shrine.
Well, what are we waiting for then?
Transition again.
Wait a minute. What is it now? This all seems a bit too convenient. What are you babbling about, you fool? Oh, your Mythic Dawn gods find one of the most legendary artifacts ever and don't tell you about it immediately? Are you suggesting my Mythic Dawn brethren would betray me?
So because of the way the CM Partners thing works, you can actually hear Tyrant draw his weapon as well, even though he clearly doesn't have it drawn here in this scene. But yeah, because I draw my weapon in this scene, the NPC reacts and also draws his weapon.
Are you suggesting my Mythic Dawn brethren would betray me? Well done, Nikolai. You be quiet already, that was just a coincidence.
My god, it wasn't a coincidence.
Welcome, Kazido. It was Tyron! I swear it was all his idea! What? What are you talking about? Who are these derelicts?
It is amusing to see these mortals squirm.
Do not worry, Kazido. We have not intruded on your ranks. We're just providing some home territory for you to remain at ease.
I think the guy on the pedestal who's dead is naked. And to cover it up, I think I had one of the disciples show up and just kind of loom over him so you couldn't tell. I don't know why I wouldn't... Well, I guess I wouldn't get rid of the body because it looks cooler to have the body there, but I'm pretty sure that there's a naked body right there.
What? Please. Killing you here would satisfy the lust of revenge, but would serve so little purpose.
So again, kind of the reverse again, where in here... Kajido did something to Vath. Vath is on him for it, and Kajido fears the revenge. But in Destiny's Horizon, Vath does something to Kajido, and Kajido is out for his revenge. The only consistency is that Vath does not fear Kajido in either one.
Besides, you are quite far away, and were gracious enough to host my tournament, so what's a little chat between partners? You can't fool me! I know you want nothing more than to spill my blood! Guilty as charged, but as I mentioned, it would serve little purpose right now. Instead, why not go find Wraithguard and serve both our purposes? Right. Wraithguard. So it's not here then.
Wow, look at the brains on you.
Oh, pipe down over there.
Hold your tongue, you worthless scum.
Kazido, my proposal is simple. Deliver Wraithguard and Sunder to us, and we will offer you a gift in return. What is it? Come now. Surely you recognize the Staff of Chaos.
The Staff of Chaos, which is, I think, floating on the altar, but, you know, could argue that it's just hanging out on the ledges and this floating over the center of it, but Because I recall, I think I had some weird issues getting that thing to actually settle down on the pedestal. Death, thanks, Death Coffin. Thanks for the raid. Hopefully it's not me heading to the coffin. Actually, probably is, given that we're on 15. But, you know. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. I'm bad.
The Staff of Chaos? Ha! Everybody knows what that is. That looks nothing like it.
Oh, yeah, I felt the need to point this out because it didn't look like the Staff of Chaos. That's right. The mod didn't look like the Staff of Chaos I was familiar with from the lore. So I was like, well, I do want it to be the actual Staff of Chaos. Like, Vath isn't lying here. It's supposed to be the actual artifact. So I guess I'll just point out that it doesn't look like the actual staff. And this led to a conversation with Steph where I asked her which order she thought I should word the here.
Oh, then tell me, wise spellcaster of the ages, does the staff's power come from its appearance or its magicka?
Its power or its magicka. Or its appearance or its magicka. I'm like, does it make more sense to say magicka second, or does it make more sense to say it first? I don't know. I guess I ponder lines. There you go. It's the Staff of Chaos if it wants to float, it can. All right, fair point. Like how Tyrant's Ha matched up with the character's lip sync. I did get some really nice, lucky lip syncs throughout the series. That yeah.
Ha! Everybody knows what that is. The Staff of Chaos. Ha! Everybody knows what that is. That looks nothing like it.
That is a really good luck one.
Then tell me, wise spellcaster of the ages, does the staff's power come from its appearance or its magicka? The Staff of Chaos is one of the most powerful artifacts ever.
So, I mean, the joke is supposed to be the stupid draw and sheath thing, but again, I'm with a freaking CM partner, so Tyrant starts doing it as well. He's not supposed to participate here, but he just kind of does as a result of the quirk.
He must take us for complete buffoons. Clearly it's fake. Nobody would just give it away. As much as I hate to admit it, Tyrant's right. What are you really up to, Vath? Reasons are reasons. But why compete against both the Dark Brotherhood and Zelos Phoenix when you can attain a free pass? Or perhaps consider Engo entering your tournament with the Staff of Chaos. I wonder who the true victor would be. Alas, the Night Mother calls. We'll keep an eye out for Wraithguard, but just know that we can encounter each other as business associates instead of enemies. I eagerly await your decision. Well, that was a good use of the Elite Guard. Almost get killed by the Dark Brotherhood while they sit outside and twiddle their thumbs. And they got paid for it, mind you.
I love how the music lines up with Tyrant saying paid. It's, I don't know, again, that was kind of a stroke of luck there. But yeah, this continues Tyrant's gimmick of, like, everything is about money and efficiency and, yeah.
Tyrant, do I have to make you the new Benji? Where did he go anyway? He's probably fine. And if he's not, I'm sure no one cares anyway.
This was a good song when I was able to use it. And of course the Frostcrag Reborn mod, just fantastic player house.
So how have things been up here, Tom?
Oh, things have been fine. Got those blasted kids off my lawn finally. Didn't even need the shotgun this time. Poor Shoddy. Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
So, incidentally, my old buddy here, everybody knows as Sabada. You know, one of his things was he used to be in on me with the shotgun joke, referring to shotguns as shoddy. And so we decided, all right, well, we'll name the NPC Tom after Sabada. But Sabada does not do the voice for the character. The voice is actually Spaceman Dan from Pure ZC. So that's just a big throwback from the old days when I'd hang out more regularly with Evan's group and we were closer and everything. But yeah, that's Spaceman Dan, and he did this old man voice one time in a Skype call while we were just all screwing around, and I was like, dude, that's like the perfect old man voice. And so when I was creating this character much later, I remembered that he had that voice, and I was like, I messaged him one day like, this is gonna sound totally random, but do you like know that old man voice that you do? Would you like be willing to do that in a machinima series for me? And so that was how he just ended up doing the voice for this. I just like actively sought him out because he just had the greatest angry old man voice I could think of, and so he did. And unfortunately, you can kind of hear him messing with his microphone a little bit in the takes of the lines, but I loved the voice so much that I had to have him on board. So, yeah, there's that, I guess. No, it's actually not me doing that voice, yeah.
Hey, Zelos. Want some more tea?
And of course, this is, everybody remembers Firestar. She was super excited to do something in here. She was originally supposed to do a different voice, but some differences, air quotes, with a certain individual kind of ruined those plans. I guess we could leave it be at that. But so that character no longer exists in any Teamudf canon and never will ever again. But so we came up with Pandora here, who is exactly the Pandora that you think she is, but you would never figure that out until I spoil it later in the rest of the episodes. But yeah, it's actually that Pandora, but so there you go. Yep, this is on YouTube, Lyman. I still got pretty much every episode up. Yeah, it's all still there, and all of its non-glory. No, okay, all of its glory. But yeah, Firestar had always a decent range of voices, so I wanted her for a couple things as well. She had a pretty good kind of half English voice, as far as I remember. But yeah, so there was that, and she always did a fantastic job as well.
Oh, sure, thanks.
You know, I got this pretty cool gold box, and it has a lot of neat stuff inside. Want to open it?
Wow, someone named Pandora wants you to open a box. What could that be? Although I don't think I explicitly have her,
No thanks, I'm good.
Are you sure you don't wanna?
So why are you back here anyway? Finally gonna help me finish off those brats? We'll take our fight back to the streets, to the oceans, to the sky, to Home Depot, and beyond.
I might have to dig something out of the old stash, though. Kajido keeps upping the ante down there.
Does that mean you're gonna try learning the spell?
I don't know, honestly.
Weren't you only one trial away from getting it?
Yeah, it might finally be worth it. I don't know, I'll think about it. I should get some rest, though. It's been a long day getting up here.
I kind of do that thing again where I'm like sighing a lot at the start of my lines. I guess that just kind of became Zelos' thing, but I didn't really intend for it to. So anyway, you heard the line there from Spaceman Dan's Tom character where he said, "We'll take our fight to the streets." This is kind of notoriously one of my favorite lines from Hey Arnold back in the day with Pookie, the grandmother. She goes on that tirade in the one episode about saving the tree from getting cut down by Bob's company, and she screams things like, "We'll take our fight to the streets," and it's just, as a kid, that always amused the heck out of me. So I just kind of adapted that line, and I use it so much in my stuff.
You know, back in my day, you didn't have mountains to climb, just lawns. Lawns as far as the eye could see. And the Chaos Dunk created those kids, but I'll show them.
Yes, that's right. The Chaos Dunk. There's actually a freaking reference to the Charles Barkley, whatever Gaiden goofy thing. I can't even remember the full name of the game. Here, I got... Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. There it is. Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. We're getting those references in Tales as well. I just freaking referenced everything in this series, dude. So at this point, I had already decided, like, a bunch of the things that I've done in my playthroughs in Oblivion are pretty much canon to what happened in the series, right? So I finally just decided we'll pull the trigger and will have all of Zelos's artifacts that he's collected throughout my playthroughs be canon. Now, the kind of weird thing about this is that you notice on kind of the left side of the screen, to the right of the horns, you see that, like, alien artifact thing, that is the same artifact from episode 13, right? It looks exactly the same. I can't remember if they were supposed to be linked or not. There's one reason I can think of that they were, but I can't explain it yet without spoilers. So I guess, you know, I almost have to amend myself here, because I completely forgot this thing was in this shot until I just saw it. But I was like, oh shoot, there might have actually been something to that, and it actually makes a lot of sense, but I wouldn't remember what that thing is. I could tell you the link, the potential link later on when we get to the unpublished episodes. But yeah, there's like, man, what do we got here? We got the skulls, we got the... I don't remember what the big slate is on the right. I don't remember what mod that's from. This might all be Lost Spires stuff. I just don't remember some of it being from the Lost Spires, if that's the case. But the majority of the things on the screen right now are from the Lost Spires, which was a fantastic quest mod. And it's unclear what Zelos takes here, because he's he's kept in mind that, oh wait, I think he might...
Well, old friend, we might have one more job to do. Luckily, a lot better than that other job.
Yeah, before we get to the joke here, it's not clear what he takes, but he takes the Horn of Zir, which is his the big double-handed blue sword I would use in a lot of the playthroughs. And I love the sword in the Lost Spires playthrough. So yeah, he's taking the Horn of Zir as his artifact to ante in the tournament, basically. A little bit of spoilers for later, but you know, why not? It's Christmas! Well, it's not Christmas anymore, but you know, the festive cheer.
Well, old friend, we might have one more job to do. Luckily, a lot better than that other job. I think I'm just gonna hand in my 2 weeks' notice. This is a bit awkward. Hey, speak for yourself.
Just such great outfits in the freaking... what was this? The subtitle was The Goddess Store. Did that mod have I don't remember... It was like some goddess name, but I think it was just called The Goddess Store. I actually don't remember. I don't know if I got it in my folder here either. It was the Heroes Store. Oh, I thought it was the Goddess Store. Okay. Well, there you go.
Mr. High Chancellor, it seems the Elite Guard have tracked down the location of the artifact you've been looking for.
Just such a long-winded line. Jesus Christ.
My friends, it seems that the coordinates for another legendary artifact have been revealed.
And then so, like, you know, they're all given their own variant of it.
We should get there immediately.
The time has come. The hunt for Wraithguard is on, but will Kazido and Vath actually work together, or will it just turn into a bigger crapfest than normal? Find out on the next 3.14159263858970288462633832795028419716939993 years on the next Tales from Cyrodiil.
It's pi, obviously, but you know, it's the first few digits make that obvious. Those are digits of pi. Well, some of the digits of pi. That can't be all the digits of pi, but that's another story for another day. If you're a math fan, all 3.14 of you out there who are math fans. But yeah, somehow I did that all in one take. I don't know. I guess I just put them on the screen and read them, so I guess it's not that impressive, but I managed to do it without screwing up, so there you go. Whoa.
The snow, it doesn't hit the ground at all.
I don't know. I guess I was bored when I was doing the Benji scene, and I'm just like, man, the snow doesn't actually hit the ground. It just kind of goes through it. I guess I'm going to make a post-show joke about this. And here is, you know, if we don't have the distortion.
It doesn't hit the ground at all.
Here's Benji just running into nothing. It was hard to get this scene up, and then there's people, they kind of just don't run at him, and I had all these NPCs go to attack Benji, but only like a few of them actually bothered. And then there's this. There you go. That was episode 15, Offering of Chaos. And that leaves one more episode in this era, the 12 to 16 era. What did I call this thing? I think I just called it Era 4, but I don't remember if I had a specific name for it. Oh yeah, we had, let's see, Kevin McLeod had 5 Armies, Groove Grove, Smoking Gun, and Static Motion. Okay. I had a lot of the Epidemic sound music as well. I can try to track it down if anyone asks, but those are harder to look for because I had the rights back then again, but I gotta be a little, I don't know. We'll see if this actually uploads to YouTube and clears the check, but if it doesn't, that's okay. You know, we'll just reference the VOD, or I'll, you know, show it later if people have questions. Well, that leaves us to 16 more convergence here in this bonus episode for the era. Yeah, like this is Deep Aura 3 from Epidemic Sound.
Dora's right.
Yeah.
I was only one trial away from obtaining Kenzo's strongest spell. Is it really worth another shot? Alright, the Elite Legion is ready to go. Good, then nothing should stop us from getting Wraithguard. Well, what about Vath's offer? Oh, never mind that. We just have to make sure we get our hands on Wraithguard before Zelos shows up. Now where is it? It seems as though your soldiers have tracked it to Hermaeus Mora's shrine in the west. That's pretty far. Oh, it won't take us more than 10 seconds if we fast travel. Guys, are we douchebags? Yes, we are, Benji. Yes, we are.
We got questions about the pink squares. Where were they? I don't think I noticed them. Oh, these things in the... I don't remember. That I can't tell. I know there was an effect when you opened the gate, but I don't remember if it was just sparkles or something. They don't look like the usual I guess they kind of do, don't they? I guess I don't remember for sure.
Shrine in the west. Yeah.
Okay. One more go at the intro here. And then we'll do some explaining afterwards, and then we'll end the recording.
Alright, everyone, we can do this. If we get Wraith...
Is that Castle High Rock in the background there? I don't remember exactly where this is. Hermaeus Mora's shrine was super far in the northwest. I don't think that's Castle High Rock. I don't know. What's near Hermaeus Mora's shrine? Is it Bruma? That might be... I don't know. I think it's further than that, isn't it? Bruma's like kind of more east. Is it? God, I don't remember. I think it's Bruma. Alright, we'll say it's Bruma.
Alright, everyone, we can do this. If we get Wraithguard, maybe Zelos will stop hating us all when he gets back.
Hey now, don't drag me into this crap fest. I am the greatest warrior here, and every time we go on a mission, I excel at my job, unlike Captain Spaghetti over here.
Oh man, never mind. I guess he was still going with the spaghetti joke. Never mind.
Oh yeah, well look who's talking, Mr. Unconscious, after a bat looks at him funny. I told you I had a headache that day, and that bat was a psychokinesis expert. It's not my fault he knew my one weakness was. A light tap on the shoulder? Cause that's what happened the one time a vampire accidentally fell on you when we were climbing that mountain in Skyrim.
Well, in any case, Shiva and McGann, you two with me, we should probably, split up.
Yeah, well, at least the women who pay attention to me aren't Dremora beasts who haven't been ogled in over 500 years. Yeah, that's it. I'm getting the dimension game. We're settling this once and for all. Master Kalido, can we stop for a bit? I don't like heights. They're scary.
Shut up, Benji, honestly. You're afraid of anything that moves.
Oh my, is that Vath over there?
Where? Don't come any closer.
Oh, never mind. Just as I thought.
I think that line would have been better executed if I didn't do the just as I thought thing. I think there was enough subtlety beforehand that you could have figured out where he was going.
Oh, very funny. Let's get going already. Oh, darn. It seems like Cyrodiil wasn't far behind at all. What? How did you get here?
What would you want with Wraithguard anyway?
God, I had to cut part of this conversation because of some stupid, like, recording mishap, and I was already, like, late getting the episode up. So, for those of you who were not around for that era, this was the 2015 challenge, where I gave myself until the end of the year to get to episode 20. And if I didn't get to episode 20, I would just call it quits, and I would rate the series later as their own, like, book series or something. So I kind of cut corners on occasion. I wasn't, like, I don't think I was super feeling rushed. This was really good timing so far. Like, January 25th was episode 15, and here episode 16 was March 31st. Oh, that might have been the April Fool's episode, actually, because that's when I created it, but it was probably uploaded on April Fool's. But so I was making good time. I didn't feel like I was going to lose the deadline at this point. And so, but I would just take a couple shortcuts here and there if I had been working at something for an extended period and it was just annoying or it wasn't cooperating or whatever. And one of those things was whatever happened to this conversation where because of the way that I cut the conversation down, or because of the mishaps with the sound management or whatever, you end up with McGahan having this weird line. I don't think it's the fact that he brings up Wraithguard. I think it's just the delivery doesn't match with the previous line, whereas it would have if I left the conversation uncut. So I kind of just screwed up there, and as a result, McGahan looks like he screws up, but that's actually my fault.
Yeah.
What would you want with Wraithguard anyway?
I don't know, but it was part of what the gods warned me about before I was revived. If Cyrodiil gets his hands on many more artifacts, the world as we know it could be doomed.
Wraithguard's part of a set, right?
Yes, Sunder and Keening are the other two, but he's already got Sunder, so I've got to stop him from getting Wraithguard. You think you rapscallions can stop me? I don't see Zelos anywhere. It looks like just a bunch of tater tots to me.
Tater tots. Which I think Tyron is about to say, actually, but that's his insult, everybody. Tater tots.
Tater tots? Hey, I have to claim all the cool catchphrases before someone else does. Well, I don't exactly think you know what cool is. Enough of this. Jada, destroy them!
Alright, so I'm pretty sure this is easy to figure out, but Tyron and Jada have a thing going on. So Tyron doesn't want Jada to fight one of Zelos' companions. This does come back later, but we have to do it in kind of a weird way. I'll explain after this episode.
Why does Jada have to go first? What do you care? It's all the same to me. Now let's get out of here. Besides, it's about time they got acquainted with our new friends in the Elite Legion anyway.
I've got this one.
If you insist. McGahan, let's wrap around.
They can't wrap around. Anybody who knows this location in the game knows that they can't wrap around. I just needed an excuse for McGahan and Ruined Tale to go ahead. But I guess I figured the logic wouldn't make sense if Jada just let them go by. So I had to come up with a bogus excuse for how they get past the bridge before Shivan does. Just goofy nonsense, dude. You would think maybe I would just pick a spot with an intersection or something, but no, I had to have the bridge. But goofy decisions. I also vastly apologize. There are two things in here that I absolutely hate in this episode, and this fight is one of them. I despise what I did here. This was like, I should have just tried again. I guess what happened is I didn't think it was that bad at first, but when I finished, I was like, God, this sucks. And I just never went back and did anything about it. But no, I know this fight sucks. So let's see what we got here. See if I like it any better these days. I probably won't. We get the stare down. And I like the opening, though, with the big attack. This was another cool Midas magic spell, I think, where it throws a bunch of cool... It throws a bunch of icicles in front of you. I had to cut it a little awkwardly, though, because you could see Zelos' hand when you fire the attack. So the way that I did the shot I can't, and the distortion is giving me trouble too. God dang it. Yeah, this is like the earliest I can get the scene in, but it's like I had to cut in like as soon as Zelos's hand is down, so you can't tell that it's me and not Shivan. Got the hop back to block. I'm not sure, that doesn't make any sense. I guess she reflects it. I don't know. I hate this fight. Never mind. I don't feel any better about it. And then I get screwed because Shivan immediately... So I'm trying to do the thing where I'm going to follow the AI. I'm going to let the AI have a natural fight here. Because remember, one of the reasons that the series was slow so much is because of my overbooking, my over choreographed fighting style in previous episodes, right? So the point of the things like the Kajido Ango fight and this Shivan Jada fight here is so you can get more natural fights between NPCs, and I'll just let the NPCs take care of it, because that's what you see in the game. It's an Oblivion game. It's an Oblivion series in the Oblivion game, so you'll get Oblivion fights. I'm like, this is fine. I just have to stop being a blanket perfectionist and hating on myself, and I'll let the NPCs fight. And then freaking Shivan hits this spell right at the start of the fight that knocks Jada, just knocks her out. I have no idea what she hit her with. She hit her with some kind of stun spell or something. And then that's just kind of it.
Got him.
So I just have to, like, cut the footage and be like, oh, got him. Man, what a... Or Kate, rather, had to do the line, got him. And I'm just like, I'm so freaking mad, dude. I don't know. I just didn't get any better fights out of this, and I didn't try again afterwards. So I was just like, well, screw me. And then we get this dumb joke that nobody who was watching Tales from Cyrodiil even gets.
Leif Erikson, I should have known you would join Kajido.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know anymore. You want to take this guy?
The pleasure is all mine.
Who the flit would know I'm referencing Angry Beavers here? In like, when this was 2015, nobody would freaking remember what Angry Beavers is in 2015. I'm such a freaking 90s kid, dude. Good God.
Ha! I bet you thought it was gonna be the Crimson Beholden.
Yeah, you finally got the subversion of the Crimson Beholder joke. Thank you, McGahan, for just backing up and not going on the offense, by the way. I thought he was going to go over the cliff here. I got two really horrible fights out of this. I'm trying to like self-improve and be mindful of my own attitude and be like, all right, well, it's, we'll chill. The AI will do some cool things. They might do some dumb things, but we'll just let the AI do their thing. And then twice in a row, I hate it so much. I got so unlucky, but I tried to live with it as best I could. Luckily, this one didn't have to end yet, so we got to do some cuts.
Alright, look around. Wraithguard should be here somewhere.
Yeah, guys, come on. The sooner we find it, the sooner we can get some ice cream.
I think you'll have to cancel those plans.
Oh, come on! Why can't anyone do anything right? Oh no, what happened to Jada then? Come on, Junie, let's go find out.
Okay, so we got Jada, Junie, and Leif Erikson. Yeah, that's a, yeah. And now, Leif Erikson from, like, history and stuff, but, like, dude, I don't know. I guess there's your names. I don't think Junie was a reference to anything. It might be a reference to June from Battlezone, but I don't think so, because then I would just call her June. I don't think Junie is a reference to anything. Jada's not a reference to anything either. Leif Erikson is obviously Leif Erikson, but, okay. This is easily Shivan's best scene in the entire...
Tyron, where are you going?
Oh, so I guess for this to work, so Shivan fought on the bridge, and McGahan and... Because I did such a good job with the cuts, air quotes, Ruintail and McGahan are supposed to be after the bridge, but now Shivan is up the hill after that point. So I guess you just have to like invent your own logic for how these people got around each other like multiple times, because boy did I not do a good job at it.
Tyron, where are you going?
So what's your plot this time, Kajido? Burning down...
Even I swear if you even so much as think about the end of that question.
I thought it would be pretty cool if she even took Zealous' catchphrase here, the same way that Ango takes Vath's phrases because he respects Vath. Shivan obviously has the thing with Zealous, so she takes his phrase.
Well, all your new guards are gone. Give it up.
Not all of them. Benji, wipe her out. I think I have a nosebleed. Hell, for the love of... I'll do it myself.
Luckily, I could play as Kajito here, so this fight is much better, but, you know, still kind of wild. Like, you can see I kind of hold my sword for a long time there, trying to get the clash sound, because sword fighting is clashing, right? That's what that is. Just outright does the Zealous move, like I don't care at all, I guess, at this point. Oops.
You little brat. This shouldn't be that hard.
Well, maybe the great Kajito isn't as great as he thinks.
Ooh, burn. Oh, screw this. It's time for Plan B.
And then the fake credits, dude.
They're the nefarious thugs. They're the nefarious thugs. They lost a bet, so now they're in debt. They're the nefarious thugs. They screw up everything, so they lost all their bling. What are they gonna do?
Well, they're gonna work for you. The nefarious thugs.
The nefarious thugs.
You know, 16 is a multiple of 4, so Nefarious Thug song gotta be in here somewhere.
Today's episode, Lost in Translation. Ooh, necesito un burrito. Oh, see, I know a thing or two about Spanish. Oh, give me a break. You're about as cultured as Captain Idiot over here. Oh, yeah? Well, let me tell you something about, excuse me just a minute. He Sean. What? He Sean. What? He Sean. What, Hunter?
So there are two things here. Number one, Hunter's meta, so he has to do the Sean bit before he can do anything else. So he interrupts himself. And then the idea was that Sean would get progressively angrier throughout the series every time that they did this bit. So in the first time, he's just kind of chill about it. The second time, he's a little angrier. He doesn't get the chance to do it the third time. So this is basically the third time. And so he's like super upset by this point. But yeah, that's going to be the gimmick for this, is every time they go through this hey Sean what bit, Sean would just get progressively more annoyed with it.
How's it going? Did you need to get that out of your system? Really? Yep. Alright, let's beat the crap out of these guys. They should have been here by now. It's been a few minutes since their theme song. In Cyrodiil time. Well, fine then.
God.
I can see my elite team is clearly finishing off with your little friends.
Screw the fourth
so why
wall.
don't I give you a surprise of my own? Let's see if you remember this technique.
Okay, so I overall like this sequence, and I think it's a very good magic versus magic fight. So like, because they got their physical fight out of the way in the first segment, now they're doing the magic versus magic. However, I do need to point out the weird thing about this water spell. You might I think I foreshadowed it in the previous time it showed up, like episode 9 or whatever.
Let's see if you remember this technique.
You can't tell too well, but there's a really awkward cut here. So, for some reason, and I hadn't noticed this before, and I don't know if it was because it was on the new computer, because it was 2015 at the time. Wait, it's not the new computer, because it's March, right? Yeah, this is March. This is not the new computer yet. Well, never mind. I don't know what this is then. But in any case, for some reason, for a very, like, split moment in time, activating this technique on someone would completely remove their clothes. They would look completely bare naked for, like, a couple frames. But it was long enough that you would notice it. So it's like one scene, but I had to cut out the few frames where the person was completely naked. It was so freaking weird, and I don't recall it doing that before, but it did it here. So I was like, all right, well, I guess we're doing some editing.
Yeah, way to go, Mr. Cadido.
But she's She's an ice spellcaster, so, you know, it's water didn't work.
You didn't think that would work on me again, did you?
Oh god, this distortion.
Now it's my turn.
I'll just let this play out. I'm tired of that distortion.
Master Cully, no, no.
You wench! What have you done to me? Just kidding!
That's actually all... Man, I gotta pause there. That's actually all lucky timing. I had to time that based on when the freaking igloo would disappear. Now, that might not be completely true. I do have to put the disclaimer out there. I do think that after 1 or 2 flame attacks, the igloo would dispel. So it's definitely one of 2 things, though. I had to time it, or I had to use the fire spell that would dispel it at like a decent time so that the effect would float around on the screen. It's one of those 2 for sure, though.
Just kidding! Yeah, fool! I'm a fire spellcaster. Your puny ice tricks won't work on me. But as long as we're turning up the heat, nuclear blast!
God, I had to... That was timing, and that was annoying because I want him to have like the big dramatic, you know, anime call out when he says nuclear blast, but God, the spell is so fast and they're in such a confined area, so it was like as soon as he's done saying the line, he has to like launch the attack, and then I have to cut away because it's like overdue. He's a fire spellcaster. Didn't he just use a water spell though? Yes, but if you recall in episode 11, he states that he found that spell in Nikolai's estate. He stole that from the Merc Genesis. So it is not natural. It doesn't have to be natural to him. Somehow I actually covered this, which is almost incredible.
Up the heat, nuclear blast.
And then we get this.
Strong, but you cannot defeat me.
It's just the Victor voice. Because I'm like, I'm not grabbing someone to do like one voice for this guy. Reasonably, I should have just done it without any dialogue. Like Junie and Jada don't have dialogue. So I don't know why I gave this guy dialogue, but I don't know. Too much banter in past Teamudf works, I guess I would say here. Here comes the second thing that I just absolutely hate about this episode.
We'll see about that. Solar flare!
Look at that. Look at all those clear-cut animations. It's just so stupid. So absolutely horrible. I couldn't think of a good way to do this technique, and I guess I just hard committed to it. I could have thought of any other thing in the world, but I'm like, I guess he'll do the rise animation, and then I need to somehow launch the attack. And the best thing I could come up with is hitting that quick burst of energy from my character, and then I just have him fall over. It's just so piss poor. I hate it so much. I feel so bad about it too, because I love this episode, but just the two side fights are just so bad.
Well,
Well,
that was tough, but nothing I couldn't handle. Better go help the others.
Not that!
No, Master Cully, no.
the big counter.
Why me?
So yeah, again, it's like, if you reason this out, there's no way there's enough time for all this to happen. He has to do the taunt. She even has to call down the igloo. He has to launch the attack. And in all of this span of time, he's reacting to the... There's no way that this all happens in one fell swoop, but it was just like, it was such a... I just wanted to do it so badly.
Not that!
No, Master Cully, no.
Why me?
I forget how I got him to fall sideways like that. I think... Oh, I know it's me because of the... You know, I have the impact, the screen shakes for the player fall damage effect. I forget exactly how I did this, but I think what's happening here is I gave myself a... not an animation, but a pose from the actors... God, what was the pose mod called? The actors not in Madness. Maybe it was still just actors in charge, actually. Maybe those also had the poses. But one mod had a bunch of poses, and one of them was like a downed kind of sleeping pose. So this is the sleeping pose, and then I just kind of launched into the air and then fell down. That's how I accomplished this.
Don't move, Orc. This can't be. I'm supposed to beat Zelos, but I lose to his little girlfriend.
This is a throwback to the thing I talked about in the 2500 video, where I was like, Kajito is going to have this horrible, this pronunciation for girlfriend, but say like girlfriend, and everybody would call him out on it, and he would think it's completely normal. But Tyron is like, this is a stupid pronunciation of the word girlfriend. Just say girlfriend. And then Benji would later say, like, he doesn't see anything wrong. He doesn't hear anything wrong with how Kajito's saying it. So this is like the start of that joke that I never got to.
It's not fair. Wraithguard was going to be mine. How did the Elite Legion fail me? Where are those idiots? Whatever Kajito did, it looks like it wiped her out too. But she's breathing. Hurry, McGann. Let's hunt down the artifact and give Sheevan some help.
Found it. Let's get out of here.
Man, that sure was easy. Good job. Oh.
It looks like it wiped her out too, but she's breathing. Hurry, McGann. Let's hunt down the
Man,
artifact.
can't believe he found it. It was so hard.
Found it. Let's get out of here.
What a hunt. Lurches over to the sword. There's a cut in here because I need to be able to draw it out. Oh, I don't draw it out. I'm bad. Never mind.
What's that?
This is another sound effect I found randomly.
Master Kalido, there you are. Are you okay?
Oh, I feel fine, Benji. I feel fine.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It was April Fool's Day. That's the Crown of Catharsis from the Dungeons of Ivillon. The Dungeons of Ivillon. The way the crown works. Wait, do I spoil this yet? I probably don't spoil this yet. Never mind. I think I had a different name for it, though. Does anybody remember what name I gave it? It was like Crown of Kings or something. It was... Crown of Kings is such a dumb name, though. Would I have named it that? I don't know. I'm going to have to look this... I'm going to look for the info for this, because I know I gave it a different name. Crown of Immortals? That might have been it. But it doesn't match its abilities. God. I wish I could find the info for this, because that's a decent guess, but I don't immediately recognize it, so I don't know. Crown of Immortals. Crown of Immortals. At the very least, if I set it somewhere else, that would like cinch it. So I might have to look around to see if it was Crown of Immortals. I just need one piece of info that I can find somewhere that suggests that I actually called it something else. Because I know that I was like, you know, the Crown of Catharsis is a good name, but by now I had already had an interest in doing original versions of all my Tales work. Okay, you can confirm that I said it somewhere. Cool. Crown of Immortals, it is. So, I didn't want to use the name Catharsis because that was the name of the crown that, you know, is from the mod. I was absolutely still going to reference the mod because Dungeons of Ivillon was a fantastic mod. But, yeah, so there was that. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah, the whispering sounds. Even though I don't remember exactly where I got them from, those whispering sounds also appear in the AU trailer from 2014. So, Zelda Classic fans, there you go. I guess it's the same whispering, and it's supposed to be my generic tell for like the evil possessive, you know, the voices in my head kind of thing. But yeah, I've used that a couple times throughout my career here, I guess. Let's see what goofy things we have here.
Just kidding.
Oh yeah, here's me trying to do the igloo thing, but I can't.
Just kidding.
Or it doesn't break.
Ta-da!
There I am, right there.
Holy
Oh, no.
frid. So I was like going to be as upset as I have ever been in this freaking game.
Oh, right,
I
this.
come back here to collect Cleon and Captain Blue after filming the episode, and I look around and Cleon's here, but there's no Captain Blue. So I'm like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. Did Oblivion seriously lose Captain Blue? And luckily, no, it didn't. He's hiding under here for some reason. So yes, almost like completely destroyed this game.
I think the reason I was so upset about that is because my previous save was so far back. I had done like a ton of setup, but I dragged all these characters around. Then I'm like, I need to finish the filming first, and just I had to refrain from all my quick saving and everything like that. I had to like make a safety alternate save and everything. I think I might have even gone in the files and removed my current quick save and like one file or something and placed them in the backup folder because I was like, I can't risk losing Captain Blue forever if the game actually got rid of it. So I flipped out thinking that I was like that something majorly bad was about to happen. And but luckily then I just did a bit of looking around. I'm like, people have like fallen through the world before. I wonder if there's like a chance they fell through now, and I happened to find them. So I don't know how he got there, but luckily it was very reversible, and I'm just thankful for that, because it was like I either have to undo all this setup or I have to like, you know, I was never going to lose him permanently, but redoing the whole setup was just going to be annoying.
Almost like completely destroyed this game. Well, here's some interesting trivia, as this was actually supposed to take place at Cloud Tower. And some of you may remember as being the place, I think it's Cloud Tower, the place for the Dungeons of Ivillon. However, I found out that unfortunately Ivillon did not play well with NPCs. I actually found this out during a live stream, so I had to completely move the location of the Wraithguard battle to Hermaeus Mora's Shrine. I chose Hermaeus Mora because we had a good time in Dragonborn, I guess. I don't know. See you later!
And indeed, we did see you later, but maybe not in the way a lot of people would have hoped. So to add to that trivia, I guess, to get a little meta here, yeah, it's going to be a two-part episode in the Cloud Tower. The first episode is just going to have a big... Do you remember the chase sequence from episode 9 where Benji has Sunder in his hand and all the characters are like running after him and everything? It was going to be something like that. But yeah, NPCs would not like get into the Cloud Tower for some reason. They would kind of glitch out or stick around at the entrance. It was very strange. So I couldn't get the followers in there to actually do their thing. And so I needed to like stumble around and think of a better place to go. And so remembering how much fun I had with the Dragonborn DLC from Skyrim, I decided, let's go to Hermaeus Mora's Shrine. And when I went over there to check the place out, I found I'm like, oh man, there's like snow and there's bridges and there's this cool shrine and everything. And so I started putting together the fights in my head, and well, the fights in my head came out a lot better than the ones in the actual video. But I do like the Shivan and Kajido fight overall. They, you know, that kind of evolution battle where they strike at each other very quickly, and then it evolves into like a counter fest of elemental magic and, you know, strengths and weaknesses and things, which is something that you just don't really get in Tales that often. The only real hint of it going on anywhere else is the Zelos versus Nikolai fight. So, you know, it was kind of neat to do those sorts of things, and I feel like it turned out better for it. But I would have been intrigued in doing the episodes in the Cloud Tower, because I had all these things set up about Ango showing up, and possibly the Skull McGee joke from the Dungeons of Ivillon playthrough, which is where that came from. So Skull McGee would have made like a cameo of some kind, and Kajido and friends would have encountered Vath after all, so Kajido would have to like quickly decide if he was going to work with Vath or not. So it was going to be a little bit different to how it turned out here. But, well, as they say, the rest is history. As I did get around to creating episode 17 and 18, I ended up getting my new computer in August 2015, later that year. I don't remember exactly when I got the 17 and 18 footage done. It might have been before, it might have been after, so I still had some time to make the 20. And then one day we were going to stream some random Oblivion adventure, and I came here on Twitch, and I started up the stream and loaded into the game, and it was only running at like 15 frames per second. And I was like, well, what the heck is this all about? So we rebooted the game and started it back up and tried to load into a couple files, and it was only running at like 5 to 15 frames. It was like super laggy and everything. And so I'm like, oh my god, what is like going on here? So I started a new game, and I loaded into the prison, and the game is running at like 5 to 15 frames. And I'm like, dude, what the heck? So I don't remember what we did that day on stream, but I shut the whole thing down. And because back then I didn't have the daily stream streak that was to come in 2016. So I shut it down, and I threw all my Oblivion stuff in a backup folder. I threw all my mods and everything in the backup folder, and I uninstalled Oblivion, and I reinstalled it, and I booted the game with a new file, and it was, no mods or anything, just completely vanilla, and it ran at 5 to 15 frames. And I'm like really upset. I'm like, dude, I'm sure I was swearing up a storm at this point, and maybe talking to Grunt and Jay, or maybe not Jay, because he didn't know that much about this particular game for Oblivion, well, like with a PC and everything. So I was probably ranting to Grunt Man at some point. But yeah, so I kept trying things, and finally we looked up how to do a fresh install. Like there might be some residual files somewhere screwing things up, and so we have a big famous list of all the things that I tried. So let's see. What do I have here? This is, I think that's the Skyrim list. When Skyrim broke on me, I think that's the list here. So maybe I don't know where the Oblivion list is. I might be able to go back and find it from like old posts and things. I thought I had the list here, but I was gonna have a big giant list and show you all the things that I tried. It was a gigantic list of stuff. No, this is not Oblivion. Oblivion's patched. I've got here listed that new game works, which I don't remember a new game working. As I recall, the new game didn't work. But here's a list of something that I guess happened when Oblivion broke. I don't know if it's this instance, but I've got that loading saves does not work. The saves that do load crash upon entering a door or menu. I feel like this isn't the same incident. What's the date on this file? 8/23/2015. Well, screw me. It's the same incident. That's the time frame. All right, so I've got here new game works, loading saves does not work. The saves that do load crash upon opening a door or menu. New game saves load properly. Tried using the backup quick save. It loaded once and now it doesn't load again. Load order checked and redone with boss. Mod conflicts done with OBMM. Oblivion is patched. OBSE is updated. Tried repatching both Oblivion and Shivering Isles. Tried reinstalling the unofficial patch, tried installing and using Wire Bash, tried Steam Oblivion, tried Fresh Install, tried old computers exe and data folders, tried Nexus Mod Manager, enabled every mod, disabled every mod individually, disabled groups of mods looking for a problem, deactivated, reactivated all O mods. So I kept this list of all the things that I tried because I knew people would try to come up with some really esoteric thing, or people would ask 5 billion times, did you try this or did you try that? So I started keeping a list of all the things I tried, and I could not restore Oblivion to working status. And the weird part about that was that when I got the new computer, it had been working properly for several weeks or something. Because we were doing mod reviews again, and we were playing games, and I was showing some of the tales from Cyrodiil creation process. We had a bunch of cool random trivia shows. There's a famous stream I did where we actually created an entire bonus episode of Tales from Cyrodiil on stream from scratch. I just improv things, and we created a whole episode on stream. Did the recording, rather. And it just, I couldn't figure out what the flit was wrong with this thing. And so I was unable to get it working, and so I had, like, after so long of trying this, I just had to finally be like, dude, maybe this is, like, finally it. maybe this is, like, finally the time where the game becomes more of a chore than it's worth, and I just finally have to put it down and go do something else. And so that was when I finally made the announcement that I think Oblivion is broken. I think it's time to move on, because I can't get it to work. And I guess 5 years later is more than long enough for me to finally admit that I do have and I've done this before on stream, but I never did it on YouTube. I think I'm finally comfortable enough 5 years later to admit that I might know what caused it. And I kind of overlooked it as a solution possibility for a long time, but when I put the time frame together, I think I do suspect one oddly specific thing. Now, I do not know as much about computers as other people, like especially not Jay, Gruntman, Brett, other people who like put together their own machines or things like that. But my suspicion has to do with overclocking. Now, Oblivion itself is an old game relative to like computer age and things like that. So getting it to work to the degree that I did might have been a blessing in disguise. Like it might have been kind of a stroke of luck, let's say. Like save files are notorious for getting corrupted the longer that they go on. You have to like reset things. Gruntman has to do this big fancy fiasco every time he tries to boot up a new game of Oblivion and load a ton of new mods. It's just this big gigantic goofy thing. So it might be lucky that Oblivion lasted as long as it did. But when I thought about it, I thought, oh my god, I didn't like the idea of my computer being overclocked all the time. When Jay made my computer, he overclocked it, but he explained how I could turn off the overclock. So after a while, I was like, I don't feel the need to overclock my computer. So I turned off the overclock, and I'm pretty sure that after that point, Oblivion never properly worked again. So again, if that doesn't sound correct to people who know more about computers than me, I am more than willing to agree with you that it is maybe a fluke or it's maybe a coincidence. But that was the one thing I thought of that lines up with around the time Oblivion stopped working, as I turned off the overclock on the machine and Oblivion just suddenly kicked the bucket on me. So I have to admit that, like I said, I thought about this possibility as early as late 2015, but by that time I was just so over other people being so nitpicky with me about you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to try Oblivion again, that it was like it was a chore at that point and it wasn't fun anymore. So my response was to let it go and not try anything else, and I didn't ever try reactivating the overclock on my computer to see if that in fact would fix it. So it's a guess, call it a hunch, it's a guess, but that's maybe the one thing I did not try that I could have potentially tried to save Oblivion. And so I finally, and like end of 2015, I was just starting Arpega. I had like a newfound passion for RPG Maker. I wanted to write things. Like I was getting into my ZSEC story after all that time. So I was like, dude, man, there are so many other things I want to do right now than to just go back to being the Oblivion guy. And so I kind of let it die. And I guess in a way, I think it was both a good and bad decision. I do think it was a good decision for my mental health at the time, just because I was like so tired of, like in my head, I was like just an Oblivion person. I had nothing else going for me. 'Cause like Zelda at that time was kind of overtaking Oblivion on my channel, but even so, it was like I wasn't coming up with a bunch of Zelda playthroughs or anything, right? I wasn't coming up with very many special things. So I was kind of in a rut, and I'm like, man, I don't know. I just don't feel like I can be the Oblivion guy anymore. And so I decided that enough was enough, and I was going to let it go, and I was just not going to look back. And, you know, I tried to make that as clear as possible. It's like, I'm not coming back to this game, because if I left the possibility open, I would never hear the end of it. So even though I knew there was a chance that I would try again later, I didn't want to ever make it seem like I was going to try again later. Because if that possibility existed, then I would just go back to being the Oblivion guy. Now, some of you who have been on the channel within the past few years, 2017 maybe as early as that, 2018, 2019, there is evidence of comments where I do say that I'm going to try again, because I eventually got over it. Basically, I eventually decided, well, this isn't so bad. Maybe it was just a break that I needed, and I kind of have an idea for a solution. Gruntman said he would help me with the modding situation. There's the mod on the Nexus that someone made me that is essentially a Teamudf save file. Like, Tales from Cyrodiil reached that far that people uploaded the Zealous Phoenix save file onto the Nexus. Let's see if we can find it again. I think I showed it in a previous episode of this. But yeah, here it is. Zealous Phoenix, the Teamudf inspired character save. So I was like, I have this as a backup. I would have to redo a bunch of things. I would have to grab all the character mods back and everything. But there's a chance that this could really work. So I've always kept this in the back of my head. I've got it downloaded. I'm pretty sure if I don't, it's a huge mistake, because I should. But this Eldridge Prodigy, I guess at some point gathered up enough information that they had 4 separate setups for Zealous Phoenix, 2 of which match the as much information as they could decipher from my videos back in those days. And they even mentioned all the compatible mods that are supposed to go with the character. And there's just I do want to say thank you to this person who I don't think I ever encountered, and I to this day I'm still even not sure who they are. But yeah, so there's a chance that things could work out again if I ever get back to it. Now I don't know when or if I would get back to it at this point, but I am interested in trying again, maybe later. But with that in mind, I guess I would say thank you to everybody sincerely who ever joined me for the Oblivion Tales from Cyrodiil stuff, because people have to realize that for me, if I never retry Oblivion, this Tales commentary series is essentially like me closing the book on that part of my life and that part of the channel journey. That's like, this is where it all like truly comes to a close if I finish out this trivia series and then I don't come back. So like, this is like potentially the end. I don't know for sure yet if it is the end, but on the off chance that it is, this is the final thing. This is the final thread, is explaining the trivia of the series and spoiling the end of the series and giving every little juicy detail that people want in one final Q&A. So I do thank everybody who ever joined me for Tales from Cyrodiil and Oblivion in general. It was definitely a blast from start to finish. And even though it kind of got to me a little in the end there, that I kind of had this vision of this negative vision of myself and everything, I really do think that overall this was obviously one of the best things in the channel's history, like ever. And it probably always will be, because it was such a big part of my life. It essentially created an entire set of characters in an entire world that I could write someday if I wanted. And who knows, I might still do that. But just in case I never boot up Oblivion again, I guess that was the thing that I could have done. So let's see. If it wasn't for that glitch when you switched computers, I would have kept trying to continue the series at that time, despite the toll paid on your health. Yes, I absolutely would have tried it. I never doubted that I would win the 20 episode game that I kind of had for myself at the time, where 2015 is like, I challenged myself, I need to do 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. If I don't, I'm clearly not like in it anymore, and I need to exit because it's going on too long. It's taking too much of a toll on my patience. I'm losing voice actors over it. I didn't know who was going to be around or how long they were going to be around. So it's like, if I'm really taking too long in this series, it's time to end the series and go on to something else. But I actually was very confident that I was going to win that challenge, because I had so many great ideas for 15 and 16, despite the fights not turning out well. I had all of 17 done. I had all of 18 done. Those exist. And at this point, I guess I'm saying that I might, over this break, if I have an interest in it, I might try to stitch together the episodes. If I don't, we still have 1 or 2 more episodes. My intent is to do 2 more episodes of this commentary series. If I do 2 more episodes, the first episode, so here's your big announcement, I guess. The first episode, if I do 2, will be all of the footage that I can scour, that I can scrounge up, and you will, like, for the first time ever, see things that you did not see ever on the YouTube channel. And that can include up to 3 episodes completely. That can include 17, 18, and the bonus episode that we created to kind of connect the series to the Random Oblivion Adventure stuff. And I guess that can also include snippets of the movies and everything. So basically we would go through all the stuff that I didn't get on screen that technically exists, and I would show as much of that as I possibly can. And then probably the last episode, I would just spoil the rest of the series and start reading through episode summaries that I construct out of nowhere. And then maybe we do the giant Q&A afterwards or something. So I don't know. My idea is that there are 2 more episodes left of this thing, but we'll see how all that works out. Yeah, so there's that, yeah. But I thought that I would win the challenge and make it to episode 20. I did get to 18, but then it just blew up in my face, unfortunately. I got vastly unlucky, either through a decision of my own, or if the save files just got too old and a fluke happened or whatever, I'm not sure, but yeah. So there's that, so... Yeah, no, I really appreciate all the attention that this series got over the years, though. It was easily, like, the thing that people looked forward to the most on the channel. And so I sincerely thank everybody who was ever a part of it, even if you're, like, brand new, you never saw this before. You came in and this guy's rambling about things that he did from 2010 to 2015. Or you're, like, that hardcore veteran who, like, remembers every little thing that Teamudf ever did in Oblivion. And it's like, to this day, you're still like, but someday maybe he'll return. You know, I'm not opposed to that return, and I'm finally confident enough to say that in a public setting that I know will be considered a public setting, because eventually the Twitch VOD will die and that information will be lost. But uploaded on YouTube, hearing like all the old vets who come back and watch the Tales commentary series, that's out there now. This is information that I'm okay with being out there now. That either Oblivion can still exist in the future, and I'm happy for it to try again, or if it doesn't and I never get back to it, like if I just get too busy and I never set it up, I would really love to merge the Lost Lineage and Tales from Cyrodiil lore. Get rid of all the Zelda stuff, get rid of all the Oblivion stuff. You know, this Teamudf world completely is my own, and we write, and we write, and we write, and we write, and we see what people think about it in the sense of a written series. There was always the audio drama idea that I had, which I feel like now that I have more royalty-free music available to me, I probably could get away with an audio drama. I would probably try to set up voice acting for that and everything, but I don't know. It might not work out as well if you can't see it. The reason why I do think an audio drama could work is because most of the scenes that people remember from Tales are the ones where characters are standing around and talking. And so there's not that much of an importance on what's on the screen. You're basically telling me that you remember the interactions through the dialogue. There's not that much visual comedy in Tales from Cyrodiil. But writing comedy in a book is much different from presenting comedy on a screen where you can see things. So if I do the audio drama it might be easier for you to visualize any of the comedic moments through either dialogue cues or sound effects or music or whatever. None of those things exist in a book. So I guess that's why the book series that I've been planning has inadvertently seemed a lot more serious and dark compared to the series that you saw on YouTube, because that's just kind of where I naturally gravitate toward as an author. I do, and we had a big discussion about this earlier in the evening on NSD, where it might be considered some kind of grim, dark torture fantasy world where your characters are continually enduring hardships and learning from them or failing to them or falling prey to the darkness in their own heart or something, and they have to improve or get swallowed up by it. So I don't know. I guess if I were to do a written Tales adventure, I would say expect it to be darker, because that's just where I tend to gravitate toward in my actual prose. If I do some kind of audio drama, you know, maybe the goofy comedy moments can come back. But yeah, so there is there's episode 17 and 18, which are they are technically completely finished. I have the footage from them, but I would have to re-edit them, because when I swapped computers, Movie Studio did not save my clips or anything that I edited. So the actual editing is all gone and it would have to be redone. Granted, now I could probably find some new cool music from my library to give the one fight in there, or maybe give some of the goof. 17 is a fight episode, and 18 is a comedy episode. A little bit of a spoiler there, I guess. And the bonus episode is just a goofy, nonsensical thing. Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'm going to try to upload this to YouTube pretty much immediately once we're done here, because I do think that this is a fitting thing to off 2020 with. We gotta give this year something. So I'm more than happy to give you this Tales commentary part 4. I do feel bad. I did not realize it had been a whole year since I did commentary part 3 until I looked at the file name and saw December 29, 2019. So I was like, shoot. I thought I did one on April Fool's, but I guess I didn't. So but we'll say that this is a late holiday present here for the channel, and I know I always keep, this is like the pattern for Tales, right? No matter what Tales has got going on, no matter what it's happening, it is the old Tales formula that it disappears for a long time and then it comes back. And I guess all I can say to that is Teamudf always gives himself too much to do. So I do apologize for making you guys wait so much over these years, but I do thank those of you who either stuck around or you poked your head in and it might have seemed a little bit intriguing to you. But this is where I'm going to end the YouTube recording. So YouTube, we'll see you for the next one. Get those questions ready, because when the Q&A pops in, we're going to try to answer as many freaking things as we can. When I go through the rest of the episodes, keep in mind, I'm basically going off of memory at this point. I don't have very much written down for the future. I just kind of remember very specific things that I wanted to do. So if at some point you question something or something doesn't seem to line up with a previous episode, it might not. I might have missed something, or I might have forgotten to include a detail in my explanation. So I'm looking forward to the Q&A that happens after the series is all out there. You know, I have clearly just spoiled tonight that the final villain was revealed in episode 13, and now you maybe have time to ponder what the heck was going on here. I kind of gave you some suspicious trivia about the artifacts and the ring. So, you know, there are like Chekhov's guns floating around, and all these things show up later. So, but if I forget to talk about them, then you ask about them. But I leave you here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.